Excuse me. Ta ta da da. Ta ta ta. All right. So. Alrighty. There's a Wednesday. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Big up on yourself, Wagwan. Today, great rising. It's a grand rising, the sunrise, But given that it's evening time, it's a great rising or a great sunset, But grand rising same way. Manners and respect, big up on yourself. You don't know, say. We always bring the heat. Alright, so we got a few minutes to get started. And today we're going to talk about a few topics related to, how do we even put this? See, a lot of positive and a lot of challenges, and boy, it's a tough one, but I'm going to see how best I can manage the situation. So we're going to get started in just a few minutes. Big up yourself, Unknown Sweet. Yeah, we're going to let the late birds trickle in. Now I'm going to give them, excuse me, until 5:10. Just to kind of balance the thing out. Alright, so we got quite a few things going on, so I am playing catch up. Which one is this? May 2025. So we got 05 14 2025. Yeah. What we have, what we notes them there? I wrote down some notes. So we are going to go over, yeah, went over that one already. Yeah. Today we're going to go over some more important topics. First one being, a lot of people, I'll go back up there, so. Greetings, Michael, Wagwan. Unknown sweet, are you a liar? I've said this many times. No, I am not a lawyer. I am not an attorney. I am not practicing law. I am not giving legal advice. And what do you think about the disrespect case and the man being awarded 3 mil mash? Well, that goes to show you that you haven't been on my page very long. Unknown sweet, I actually covered that case already on my page. And I use that case as an example to show that people can prevail in court. People can prevail when they bring their claim properly. Many of these things that you see publicly are because attorneys are often involved, right? But what I am teaching is every man for himself, every woman for herself. Everybody should independently know how to start their own tort claim. And once everybody knows how to bring forth a proper tort claim, then you don't have to wait on an attorney. You don't have to be delayed in many cases. You don't have to adhere to the rules of the bar. You know, you still have to adhere to the court rules, but many times you can push your case along further than just waiting. You see, a lot of these cases, it takes what? Many times 2 to 10 years to get justice, or to get the case at a manageable level where you can say, okay, resolution is near, right? And a lot of times that does not need to happen. Let me say that again. A lot of times you see these cases being strung out over 3 to 10 years or even more, because I see cases coming up, we say them started from 2010, 2009, and people are still not getting any justice. They're not getting anywhere. They're not getting anywhere close to completion of the case, because so many technicalities in between. So many people are giving leniency. Some people, things are being put off. People are not being held accountable. So many different things. And this is not something where we want to just leave things in the hand of an attorney, because in many cases the attorneys that are on cases, they know each other. Remember, all of them go to law school. All of them are what's called a member of the bar. They have to pass the bar exam. They have to be a member of the bar in order to practice in the court. So they all know each other. They're all a part of the same fraternity. So they are not going to push each other to their limits. They're not going to push each other to make things run fast and smooth. Oftentimes they're negotiating, they're talking to each other, they are doing a lot of things that we might consider a delay. But to them, it is trying to, I guess you can say, come to some kind of agreement, right? Because it's really agents talking to agents, right? So when you don't have that barrier and you are pushing for your own freedom or for your own rights or for your own whatever it is, or your own interest, you are going to be more proactive. You are going to hold people to the fire. You're going to hold people to the law, the procedures, the rules, the Constitution. All of these things are going to come into play when you know that you have the ammunition or you have the access to these things, right? So it's always going to be, like them say, a man will fight for his life better than a man can represent him. Because when somebody's life or when someone's liberty is at stake, they take it way more seriously than someone else doing it in their stead, because they know what they have at stake. Um, thank you. Fast resolution to is an issue. Lawyer try to bleed you dry when the judge is part of the corruption. No agreement, man, it's corruption. Yeah, man, the class just a startup, you know. I was just going over the fact that what I teach is for people to fend for themselves, not to depend on an attorney. Because what about those who cannot afford an attorney, right? What about those who an attorney can't help? What about those who have the brain power to ingest this stuff and then use it, right? Those are the people who, I guess you can say, I am putting this out there for. If you want to do things on your own, if you want to learn, if you want to be able to teach yourself and possibly a generation to come how you can put these things together, how you can gain the knowledge, I feel this is better. I think everybody in a family should have somebody who knows the law, not necessarily an attorney, but someone who knows the law enough where they can either teach you the basics or run through it with you as counsel, co-counsel. I'm trying to vote in the 2 polls, but it's unresponsive. Not sure what's wrong. The polls are closed. The polls are closed. I gave everybody enough time, and the polls were closed on Monday because intimidation, they intimidated you as well as intimidating. And this comes around to a topic that I'm going to be touching on today. All right, people, let me tell you this. And if there are any officers in the room, I'm going to make things clear. I am no stranger to threats. Okay? I am no stranger to warnings and all these different things. At the end of the day, we are all going to expire at some point in time. The whole of it. Those who have watched, those who have come, those who've been through it, we all have an expiration date, don't? What I choose to do is to make a difference. Even if me gone tomorrow, me know say when me did a teach or when me did a pass along, many people benefit from it. So me content with life. Me not walk around afraid of nobody. Me not walk around afraid of no situation. Me not walk around I go on like say, me better than nobody. You see me? So at the end of the day, regardless of the threats that you guys send, regardless of the comments of hate, regardless of whatever, me know say, me have enough love in my life. Me have enough support. Me have enough people who tell me thank you. Enough people who out there. And if I didn't shed some light on certain things, they would have been abused and they would have been tossed by the wayside. So what I am teaching and having on this page, I know that it's making a difference. So again, regardless of whatever negative thing people want to bring about, I mean, bring it. I am always up for a discussion, you know. Excuse me. Because you see when time people come about and them start talk about, oh, you have to be careful because if them book your road, blah, blah. I say, hey, you know, say them don't like you because of the way I teach. Hey, you know, say, you encourage criminal. Hey, you know, say, you try to get people around the thing. Hey, this, hey, that. At the end of the day, nothing that I teach can help a criminal. Nothing that I teach can help a criminal. A criminal has no rights. You've already forfeited your right. You forfeited your innocence. So whatever you try to do with the material that I teach, it's not gonna work. So what am I worried about? The only way this works for you is if you're walking in truth. If you truly believe that you are aggrieved, that you were deprived of something, then yes, this is going to work for you. Because you see how it can assist your situation. But if you are guilty, then there's no way what I'm teaching is going to work for you. Because not only will the judge be able to see it, you will not have the confidence to go through with it. You get what I'm saying? Because people don't realize what you project is what you can't see. Many times you can't see your reaction to things or how you respond in a certain way. You can't see your own body language. But others can see it. Is it? So, again, for those of you who are afraid, boy, I don't really want to cross them, boy, I don't really want this, I don't really want that. You can't avoid it in many cases. Like I said before, the only way you can avoid some of it is if you know see a roadblock down the road, you can turn on the car and go the other way. You see me? Or find a detour. Do something else. But in many cases, you have people who are just randomly stopped for no reason. Would that be bad mind? Would that be just random? Or would I never try to prove a point? Some of it we cannot avoid. So what can we do? We comply and we deal with it in the courts. Now, I am working on another strategy that may possibly aid us outside of the courts, but it's not ready yet. And it has nothing to do with confronting the police. Because like you see on my page, I do not advocate for anybody to confront the police. Okay? Don't try to stop them from doing the job. Don't try to badger them or ask them one heap of questions. You can ask one or two if you're so inclined. But I still don't even recommend that. You see me? Just keep it simple. You take your ticket and you go on, you beat the ticket if you are not guilty. You see it? But other than that, you don't want to keep saying things that you have to defend all the time. Zin. So, that being said, people, you cannot go out there being afraid every day. You can't go out there and dread what you have to go through in your life. You have to just keep a positive mind and know, say, at the end of the day, if you're not gone, you're still there to make a change or make a difference. So, with that being said, like I said before, many times it takes a collective to get anything monumental done. Let me say that again. If we want to make a really big change, it takes a collective. You cannot expect that just because you might win your case or you might prevail in a situation that things are going to change around us. Because right now, as we sit here and as we listen to this and as we talk, there are Supreme Court cases that clearly state that the officers are not supposed to be doing something, but yet still they are still out there doing it. The commissioner of police come out and say, this is unlawful, and the police them still out there and do it. So why do you think you having any form of knowledge is going to aid in your situation? Why do you think trying to educate the officer on the side of the road is going to change anything? Why do you think that you are going to have the upper hand just by talking to the police? If those big authority figures cannot change the attitude and the actions of the officer in many cases, why do you think you are going to talk yourself either out of a ticket or out of an arrest? If the officers decide that they are going to do something, many times you have no choice. Many times the only thing saving a lot of us is that we are in a populated area. Okay? Many times you're in a populated area, or if you have a lot of people in the car sometimes, they won't do certain things. You see me? But in many cases, you just have to be like, okay, you know, officer, just give me the ticket. If you feel someone do something wrong or you feel say you need to do your duty, go ahead and issue the ticket. Because at the end of the day, you know say you can fight the ticket and you can prevail. You see me? So, again, no arguing, no trying to prove nothing. Just give them the upper hand, make them feel however way them feel when them give people a ticket. See? So that being said, we need to be in a collective state of mind. right? And I realized that we have these agencies out there that supposedly are out there fighting for human rights and all of these things, but the only time you hear about them is when terrible things happen. And I see so many statistics and numbers going around, but nobody can verify them. If we in the public want to verify where these numbers come from, how you're coming up with these numbers, how do we know these are real individuals or real scenarios, real stories from real people? How do we verify any of it? We just see all these numbers floating around. You have, 150 killings since the year start. You have this much people, reported incidents. You have this and that, whatever. But there is no way for us to validate any of it. Crime gone down 13%. This gone down, this gone up. This, you just hear these numbers being shown around and nobody can verify them. What's the point? To me, the public needs more visibility into these issues, right? We are all affected by it, right? And when we have situations where you make a complaint, but it not gone away, people are going to be discouraged, right? It's just like people say to me all the time, listen, I'd rather pay the 2,000 or the 5,000 or the 10,000 ticket rather than go to court because I waste of time. And I get where they're coming from, but it's because, again, lack of knowledge. Because if you realize, say, again, if you are convicted of a crime or acquitted of a crime, as long as you've went to court and the matter was decided by a judge, you cannot be convicted again. And that is in the Constitution, right? If you know these things, you would not hesitate to go to court. You see what I'm saying? It's a big difference when you know the rules and when you don't. Because you get a ticket for speeding today. All right, $10,000. Get a ticket for speeding next week. Another 10 grand. 3 months down the line, another ticket. And now you end up paying $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 for the year because you refuse to go to court. Right? And again, I'm not blaming you because many times people go to court and the judge just, overstep them. But again, that is because lack of knowledge. If you had the knowledge to know that when you go into court, you can do certain things. If you knew that you could submit your own paperwork, if you knew you could say less than a minute's worth of deliberation and you could win your case, you would have gladly gone down to the court. Because you already know that the outcome is possibly more than likely going to be in your favor. Right? Big up yourself, Afrodub. Wagwan. Yeah, justice takes knowledge. It does not come with just action, action, action. TikTok police, big up yourself. Wagwan. Manners and respect same way. People who keep on come to me about action, action. We need to do something right now. We need to do... Listen, if you don't have the knowledge, it all crumbles down. Because everything is going to come back to the law. Everything is going to come back to how do you keep these things stable. If you are winning now, or if you start winning, right? Can it be defeated? That is going to be the question. Can you be defeated ultimately? And if you're just taking action, you are still subjected to the law. So why go around the long way and take shortcut and then you have to come back around the long way again? Don't make any sense. You need to learn the steps and the process first. Once you learn the steps and the process and you start to take action in the courts, you get a ticket, you go to court, you deliberate it. At some point you will win. I'm not saying that you will win. Yes, blacks, that's true. The law is not taught in the, what you call it? The secondary levels of school, right? But at the same time, that doesn't stop you from reading. That doesn't block you access to books. It doesn't block you access to YouTube where you can watch a lot of court cases. It doesn't block you access to any material. It's just that you don't have the direction. You don't have the direction to point you in a certain way so that you can learn the basics so that you can start building on your foundation. We don't want to live in the court, but if we have to go, you don't want to dread it. You don't want to run from it, right? You just want to know that if the time comes, you know how to prepare yourself. And that's what this is all about. But at the same time, we want to do things as a collective, right? Big up Nairon, what go on? Yeah, we want to do things as a collective. You don't want to just be out there just stretching out your neck and try to see where you can get quick and fast. It takes time. It takes time. The YouTube channel is up, but I need to get a few more things situated. The permissions are giving me a fight. I don't know if it's because the channel is new, but I am going to start going live on the weekend from YouTube as well. So those of you who prefer the YouTube platform, and also YouTube can record, you know, I can make the live active on the site after I am done with the classes. And I'm going to structure the classes better because I know I touch on quite a few topics each time I go live. So I'm going to make sure that we update, like have a schedule that we talk about. And you guys can also pitch in, you know, as we start building the community, right? And again, I know a lot of people are not going to be action takers up front until them start see the successes and them start seeing the difference and them start, you know, do different things. So with that being said, I want to share something with you guys. Let me see if I can pull it up on this browser. So, a couple of things. One, I spoke to you guys about a public notice, right? I shared the public notice on the TikTok channel, and I see there are quite a few people who started working on their own notices. Those who are in the private group, we have quite a few things coming. But I had to figure out a way that will ultimately benefit all of us. Because this is going to be, I guess you can say, one of many action steps that we're going to take as a community, right? The first problem we have is publication, right? When we need to publish something in the newspaper, we have to go through, I guess you can say, a guardrail, right? We have hurdles that we have to cross. You ask questions, you hardly get responses. You don't know upfront how much they're going to charge you. And then if you have too many words, then you have to keep doing this back and forth thing, right? And on top of that, it is not cheap. It is not cheap to put something in the paper. And for many people, it's again another barrier to equal access of the law. And the reason we talk about publication is because if you have a public notice that you put in the paper, it becomes what's called public policy or public law, right? You put everyone on notice, and then once everyone is on notice, they cannot claim ignorance to it. So if you say, okay, I am activating all of my rights that are guaranteed by the Constitution, Order in Council 1962, right? And you publicly declare that these rights are activated at all times. Then what is happening is, once you get violated, you can immediately start a tort claim once you have the evidence. You don't need to go through the ticket or any of that nonsense, right? Yes, the ticket helps. You can still defeat the ticket with the same thing. because we know that the constabulary force or the JCF really should not be issuing any tickets, because tickets are administrative, they're civil. And when a police officer issues a ticket, it is actually a criminal matter. This is why at the top of the ticket, they put like Road Traffic Act in brackets, because they cannot issue the ticket under the Road Traffic Act. It has to be under the authority of the JCF. So therefore, when they issue a ticket, the Road Traffic Act is in brackets, which means that it's only for reference. It is not being used as an authority. But the ticket itself have Jamaica Constabulary Force on it. So that means that the ticket is being issued under the authority of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Now, that being said, Section 13 of the Constabulary Force states specifically that the police can only engage in criminal matters. So if they're issuing a ticket, it is a criminal conviction. Why is it a conviction? Again, we've been over this many times. A ticket is a criminal conviction because the police can only issue criminal processes. That's number one. Number two, the ticket cannot be negotiated. Once it is issued, it is considered an order. We already went over the meaning of a police. A police officer gets its authority from the magistrate court, right? So the police issued a judicial order. So that means that if you don't pay, you have court consequences or criminal consequences, right? So anything that happens like that. And again, when you're contesting the ticket, you're simply contesting it. You cannot raise a natural issue, meaning you can't make a claim when you're contesting the ticket. All you can do is mount a defense in the appeal, right? The officer, correct, Justin, the officer already made his judgment. So now what you are doing is you are appealing it to a higher court. Because the officer himself created a judicial matter. Now, if you choose to pay, you've accepted all of the actions of the officer. So there is no further appeal unless you show up to court and contest the ticket. You contest the ticket on the date that is on the ticket, right? That will now trigger the full appeal process, where they'll say guilty or not guilty. You say, I wish to plead in the form of a demurrer. And if you plead in the form of a demurrer, or you tell them, I do not wish to plead, I wish to contest this ticket, I wish to appeal the ticket, they will now set a trial date. But again, like I said, you can skip all of that. You can use the documents in the Telegram channel. And then when you get to see the judge the first time, they have to have the trial, because you already submitted the documents and notified the proper parties. And then now the only thing that can really happen is a trial, because everybody was already notified. When you get there now, the judge cannot ask you guilty or not guilty, because you've already proven that you are there to contest the ticket and you've submitted evidence as such. You've submitted interrogatories or demand for particulars. You've submitted, the summoning of the officer. You submitted all the necessary documents. So now the ball is in the court of the officer. If he doesn't show up, you motion the court to dismiss the case for lack of prosecution or failure of the prosecution to prosecute the case. Once you get your ticket dismissed, you take that order, you go make the tort claim. The tort claim is now a motion for declaratory judgment. The declaratory judgment means you already have everything that does not require the court's decision. Meaning the court doesn't have to make a finding of fact or a conclusion of law. Your public notice that's already published, that is considered law. Once nobody contested it within 30 to 60 days, and when they say contest it, they have to show lawfully why what you are saying is either not true or it should not take effect. They cannot just say, I am contesting it because I don't agree. It doesn't work like that. When you have a public notice, you have to contest it on lawful grounds. So if you cannot come lawfully and say, I am contesting this ticket because of these lawful grounds, you have no standing to contest the public notice, right? So now, when you submit that public notice as a matter of record in the court, and you submit the dismissal of the ticket as a matter of record, now when you claim declaratory relief, It is no longer a matter of question of is there a matter of fact or a matter of law that is being decided. No, it is simply the facts have already been there in the public, and it's just a matter of the court needs to recognize that you are now making a claim based on your public notice that was already in the public, and the officer already violated that. So given that your rights were already activated and the officer with full knowledge intentionally violated your rights, now you are suing the state for intentional negligence, right? And of course a few other things. Once you sue for that, if the officer or the prosecution decides to contest it, they will have to come with a lawful justification to find out how they can defeat what you've just said, which they cannot. Because again, once it's already in the public and you knowingly violate something, it's just like if there is a law and you were found to knowingly violate that law, there's no defense. Even if it's an accident, right? It would have to be shown that it was either in the heat of the moment that something happened, or and even so, when you say heat of the moment, it has to be very specific to a specific circumstance. It cannot be arbitrary use of unlawful authority. So this is why public notices are very relevant, right? And when we use public notices, it is forever. Big up yourself, Marlon. Wagwan.
Yeah, man.
Zin.
Manners.
Manners and respect same way.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, do you want to bring up something or have a question?
Yeah, you know, me just joining in now. Me just picking so I know so I miss some of the information about the procedure that you're just talking about. So you were saying, oh bad boy. Me miss an informative part of the ticketing thing we had talked about a while ago.
Talking about
the
process for the documents?
Yes, like when you counter, if you carry the ticket go to court.
Oh, when you're contesting?
Yeah, when you're contesting the ticket.
Right. Well,
I missed that part of the live a while ago.
Okay.
Let me just see the notification by my phone.
Well, that was just a basic overview, and I'm going over what happens each step of the way. I wasn't really going into full details. And again, for those of you who are just joining the channel, if you are part of the Telegram group, excuse me, or if you're not a part of the Telegram group, you can join the Telegram group. The name of the group is 876 Rights, one word. Once you get in, you will have access to all of the topics, which one of them has all the documents that I mentioned. So you can download them, and once you download them, they are named properly. So if you have a computer, it is best to view them on the computer. Some people don't have computer, they just have a phone or a tablet. Once you download all of the files, they are in order and they are separated by numbering system. So you have like 001, 00A, you have different sections, and you also have a master index list. So the master
on Instagram, that?
No, Telegram.
Oh, Telegram, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So once you have the documents in a folder that you can look at all the files, and you have the master index that you can look at to see which file is for what, you literally can't really mix them up. And again, most of the documents are 1 page long, so it's not no what if I read it. So those of you who don't like to read, it's not a lot.
I'm not big one.
Is it?
Yeah, man.
Are you telling?
Yeah, so all right, so that being said, when we have a public notice that we want to get on the record, we want to get in the public, there is a barrier of entry, right? You have to contact the newspaper, you have to give them particulars, they come back to you, they want to see your document before they give you a quote. Then when you say ask if that's the final document, one heap of back and
That's the thing you listen to.
Alright, let's mute Marlon for now. Can I join to talk about how to start a payment plan? Alright, I'm gonna open up the guest panel so that a few people can come up. But you can send a request, but I'm going to accept them in a minute. I just want to finish this point. Zine? Yes, Chris, big up yourself. Welcome, welcome. So, like I said, the barrier of entry into the newspaper to do your publication, they are asking so many questions. They are, going so much back and forth with you. And then at the end, they are going to give you a figure and you don't know how they come up with this figure, right? That you don't know how they come up with this fee for filing your documents. And at the end of the day, you have to now decide if you want to part with that money or not. And if you don't, then of course you can publish your public notice, right? So for example, if you have a 500 word document and they say it's going to cost you $20,000, right? The problem is going to be, can you part with that $20,000 and not feel no way? Or you have to go put that aside for a later date, isn't it? Because $20,000 somebody, phone and water bill. So, you get to me, I say it's a barrier of entry when it comes to these things. That's why I said, I put up the poll and I said to many people, if you want to join as a group, we can put together the money and everybody just share in the fee, whatever it is. But right now that poll is closed and we're working with those in the private for now. Now, that being said, I've been looking into why is it that we have to use a public newspaper, right? Like the Gleaner, the Star, or whatever. And what I realize is we as a community, we can actually start our own public distribution publication. Let me say that again. We as a collective, we can come together and we can start our own publication that is nationally recognized. And what that means is we can simply make it free. The same way you have the Star, the same way you have the Gleaner, the same way you have the Observer, the same way you have all of these papers. We can do the same thing. The only thing we need to do is put out public notices in each parish. Put out flyers, put out notices on the street, put out notices in different business places, make it available and make it be known to people, right? And once we have national recognition of it, meaning people see it, people recognize, you see, just like how you have people make flyer for party, is the same thing, public notice. Once it is posted in the public for 60 days, you post them on light posts, you post them in a business, you post them wherever. And we document it, right? We take pictures of these things and we would have them on the website. So the idea here is we don't need to be printing a national paper. We can simply have it online. But in order to have it online, we would need to have it in the public first to say, this is now, for example, Voice of Jamaica, right? That is what we're calling our publication. And once we have it in the public for 60 days, anybody who wants to publish something on the site, right? You can simply make a request and you send the information you need to be published and you publish it. No fee, no barrier of entry, no form of commerce. The same way I'm doing this channel where I'm not charging anybody anything. The same way I say no form of commercial activity in the Telegram group. Is the same idea. Once we are not engaged in trade or commerce, we cannot be regulated. Let me say that again. Once we are not engaged in trade or commerce or any business, we cannot be regulated. Because what is being regulated is money. That's basically what it is. If you are not engaged in the trade where you're gaining value for value, money, something of monetary value, then there's nothing to regulate. There's nothing to ban. There's nothing to do anything with. No, Chris, this would still be in the public. This would still be in the public, but it would not be under the regulation scheme of any government. Because once we are not inciting anything unlawful or anything commercial, then there is no reason, there is no lawful reason to interfere with it. It's just like if you have your house. Once you are not creating a disturbance or doing anything unlawful, the police have no right to come over there. Get what I'm saying? So, this is what I have been working on over the past week. And I will show you what it looks like, right? So here we have the website. And it is called voiceofjamaica.com. Right? And this is the preliminary site. And for those of us who want to be a part of this or not, you can still go ahead and check it out. Rankovic, currently all the files are individual, yes. I can create, and matter of fact, the files are going to be available on this website as well. Right? So you're going to have a download section, you're going to have templates, documents, and files. I'm going to combine the files and have, the thing is that the combined files would probably not work on a, like a mobile device or a tablet, right? So that's why I didn't do it like that, because I don't want to confuse people. But for those who are on the computer and want to edit documents and stuff, I'm going to combine just the documents into one file so that you don't have to be searching back and forth to see which files to download, right? So again, this is the website. It is up right now. I didn't put it in maintenance mode, so you can actually go and take a look at it. There is no section there for registration or anything like that, but the idea is in the future, if someone wants to add something to it, you can make a request and an account can be created for you so that you can post things on the site. Obviously, if you post anything derogatory, you will be banned. That goes without saying, right? And you have a moderation mode, so when you try to post anything, it will not go live until someone reviews the content and make sure that it is appropriate for the site. Yeah, man, big up yourself, Blacks. One love, same way. Is working a 9 to 5 considered trade? Justin, you know, I say I actually do some research on that recently. Wouldn't the court date come up before 60 days? Dan Rush, I'm not sure what you mean. Wouldn't the court date come up before the 60 days? No, you're doing your public notice ahead of time. You wouldn't do it when you have court. You do the public notice ahead of time. So you do your public notice ahead of time. You don't wait until you have a problem. Once you do your public notice, then anything that comes up in the future, you can reference your public notice. You can bring a copy of it to court. You can submit a copy of it into the record. You can do a notice of reliance on public record or public notice. You can do a lot of things with it. So once you have those things in place, it's simply a matter of reference later on, right? So you don't wait until you have a problem before you start doing this stuff. This is why I teach it ahead of time. If you have a current situation, this is not something that is going to help in that situation, because you need to have public notice in place before you try to use it. Yeah, Afrodub, big up yourself. You wanted to say something?
No, not at all, not really. I just wanted to share the life to as many people as I can. So I'm just here in support. You don't have anything where you not saying nothing wrong in the Prime Minister. Nothing at all. So I can't really to interrupt you.
Big up yourself. All right. So people, like I said, we need to have an outlet where we can share our voice, right? Here is another thing I'm going to disclose here. Many times we have complaints. Many times we have grievances. Many times we have situations where we don't know who to contact. We don't know who to trust. We don't know where to make it a record. We don't know. We don't want to contact TVJ. We don't want to do any of those things, right? But we want it to be a part of the public record. We want people to know that these things are happening. Like we have situations where a gentleman just randomly get a gun in his face. He didn't get harmed, you know, but an officer placed a gun in his face. And this was reported by Miss Diane Jackson Miller, attorney at law, right? And she showed the video. I'm actually going to bring up the video in a few. The gentleman was a passers-by and police are run up and down. And the man then put a gun in his face and asked him for gun or weapon. What the man don't know about. Right? And there was... Can you imagine something like that happen to you and you don't know where to turn, you don't know what avenue, you don't know how you can make your situation public? It's not right. So now you are not even a statistic. You are simply just blah. You end up in a situation, grievous situation, but you can't do nothing about it. Who you are going to report to? Because of the same police them where aggravate you and violate you. And them same one you report to. If you don't know to contact Indicom, if you don't know to contact, you know, the different regulatory agencies, and then again, the regulatory agencies are a part, it's an arm of the government, so it's all a part of the same nest. So again, we are not against the police, but when you have situations where people's lives are being upturned without any form of criminal activity present, we cannot just lay by the wayside in the name of so-called justice. Because if I am not a criminal, I don't want to be subjected as a criminal would. Zane? Sydney, big up yourself. What go on?
What go on, my brother? I'm there, you know.
Zane?
Yeah, man, I see you live and say me I'll make a little talk, you know.
Yeah, man.
Well, and you know election round the corner, you see it?
Yeah.
All right? So, me I say, this government I say, we vote them back in for them to do a good job. But when we look on the health, the economy, the crime, and the prime minister, we don't see no reason for putting back them a government in a power because nothing now go on good there, so brother. And then are the three main things that in your country. So me not see which part me could have really them not convince me if we vote back for them, put them back in a power, brother. Me don't know how you see that, how you see it.
Boy, honestly, from me I grew up as a little boy, you know.
Yeah.
My family has never been in politics.
Yeah.
So me not have a side. And me not pick none of them because as far as I see it, I have never seen a government come into power that change the lives of the common man for the better.
Maybe
All
just ask you, hold
all
on,
them say
maybe
them a
just ask
fight
you why
crime.
you Jewish.
Huh?
Maybe just ask why you Jewish, so you said that. Maybe just ask, I don't important, me no important, me important. Me just ask
41.
you, are you, no, you ever see a thing like that, man?
So you think like what?
Like say you never see no government come in and change the life of poor people, and say poor people because
Right.
we are suffer.
Right.
No, that 41-year-old man said that, man. You're not serious, man.
Why you say that?
No, but look here. Even the instrument what we are talking about, son, you know, say poor people love this more than food. Come on, we take all the food money and come to this because you can call this and ask somebody and beg them something.
Yeah.
Foreign or abroad and them give. So even telling me communication is one of the best things in your country.
Right.
That is a big change to poor people life. More than first time when time we a telegram and all them things that we have to come with.
So
And,
who made
you know,
that change?
The PJ Patterson, man, they put the People's National Party, PJ Patterson, man.
No, sir. You're mistaken, my brother.
What you really are saying me make mistake? Let me tell you something, man. Me not me 60.
But okay, hold on.
You couldn't show me that and say, boy, me I make mistake. You say you don't know.
No, but hold on a second. You see when we go talk about a point,
Yeah.
we want to make sure we address it lawfully, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So we're not going to jump from topic to topic. Zin?
No, I see him topic me depan, man. I see
Yeah,
him topic
man.
me depan.
So me I go ask you 2 questions.
Yeah.
And you tell me if I am right or if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to use the example of telecommunications.
Yes.
Do you honestly believe that it is a political party that caused Jamaica to have telecommunication?
Yes. Because I tell my age. So me a come one time, me tell you a telegram. Me come to when we have two call back to a parish, to a district then, or a town. 2 call back. Me not you know you 2 call back. So when they
Yeah, man.
call. You
Yeah,
know
man. Yes.
right, good. Remember say them with that for you, you know. Remember say them with that for you, you know. People line up. Me see man take machete and cut this man the knife and cut
But
man.
wait,
Bad people that for run left that brother run. Man a call. And PG no, you ask me a question. Remember you say we fit talk like this.
Your connection a break
And then you
up.
talk, cause you ask me now, you know. 2 questions you ask me and you
No. Your connection a break up. That
2
me I tell you,
questions
you know.
you know.
Your connection a break up. You have to get to a good place where you have good signal.
Better sound better.
Yeah.
Yeah, all this now, so better.
Go on, make me see.
Sound better. What's so?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man. So let me show you, say, it's PJ Patterson, young people when time go up together and change the model from cable and wireless. Them time that them in control the system, you know. So poor people never really have a phone. Let me tell you, call back, and so we have to make it. And them go in there and sit down and talk to them and change it from them and work it out. That's when they start bringing cellular in the country. People start get cellular. Nurse, teacher, doctor, probably all we wanna be used to get. That's so we cellular thing coming, you know. That's if you remember. I don't know if you know about a man when called Roger Clark.
Yes.
When Roger Clark the past stage, when cellular come on now, Roger Clark come in on stage and take one and say, you take one call one and the other side start laugh after him and take tonal political campaign. One ring in my pocket
Right.
and you have one attack. And
But let me ask you a question.
because that is a political decision. The tablet.
No, sir. No, man. Make 1 point at a time. We're upon the topic same way. See?
But me live through the
Me get what you're saying
Yeah,
now.
man,
But here you know. Here you know. So
Why you
you
say
want
no?
to tell me say
Why you say no?
you say if it wasn't for
Yeah.
for PNP or PG, You're telling
Yeah.
me that Jamaica would still have callbacks?
Well, me live through the 80s. Me I tell you, me live through the 80s and we never have it. Me I tell you what we used to have. And the other side do
Me
9
get what you
years
have
and
said, but
89 include 83 them alone running no them alone in there. Yeah?
all right.
No hear you.
So what happened when the other one go into
Me no hear
power?
you.
And you all right, now you have electric cars come about. And electric cars here in Jamaica. You want to tell me say are the political party make that happen? Make it reach Jamaica?
No, watch me now. You can't do next point now. Me agree. You see the
No,
see
no,
the
no, no,
car
it's the
now.
same
We
thing.
can't just talk
It's the
about
same
electric
technology
car,
we are
but we
talking
talk
about.
about when we used to take same thing. Well I know. Me know what no me I tell you. The same thing when the car at this at the other government which is PNP to the same media partisan. When me have used to, me don't know if you remember, we used to have one bus named Mayflower and one is to go one left from country to town, from center and that's to town. When that pass you, when that left you, you're not going town again. All right, a 1 and 2 somebody, no poor people no really have no car then time there. And then bringing the used car. When that the government with the Siaga was the prime minister and said Jamaica will be a graveyard to old car. That a film statement you against the bad. And PJ participants, nurse, teacher, doctor, police, work when never go to school like I go work sick people, them tired driving at the old bus where passenger and military, yam and banana and cocoa and that I go at town at the one bus. You see, and the man bringing the talk to the used car dealer them and make them people, you know, like the police and teacher just pay 10%, pay down 10%, and the rest come out of them pay.
Use headphones to improve the multi-guest experience.
You see me, I tell you?
Right, me get what you
Ah,
say,
hello.
Is there still?
but that yeah, but you are talking about
Yeah.
political activation of certain things, right? And that is not really the case because
Yes.
whenever we
But
have
if them
new
come to me, have
technology
to
come
talk about
about,
them.
whenever we have new technology come about, it is just a matter of
No,
people
but
who have
have to
access
talk
to
about
it.
them.
I can say something.
Then
Yeah, man, go
you
ahead.
see? Well, no, yeah, you know, every time you talk, you come in my favor. Because look here now. As
I can
PBA
say
make
something.
media parties make poor people access to poor people. Me used to work at
Well,
Beverly
on, let me
Hills,
tell you
yard
something
boy,
about
we
them
know
on
them
them.
time then, we not ten gardener. Like no,
Me beg you, sir.
gardener. We a yard boy. I run a back way off with them. Nobody, you can't make guess
Me
with.
can tell you something about that, brother.
Me I work with push and clean and everything.
Can say
Hold
something.
on, hold on, because
And outside that, a tree yard and and me come,
because your
and me
connection
come
a
back here
lot.
and all
Nothing take
2
you
weeks
though.
here now.
Yeah, go ahead, Mark. Big up yourself.
Host.
Me did want him ear still what me I go say still. I hope him still a listen. But you see that same brother the way him say, me is not a political person. Me not like none of the party them
Facebook
still. You
notifications, Jared
understand?
Russell. You
But
have a new
Mr.
friend
Patterson
suggestion. Michaela
responds with the greatest transfer of wealth in this country. You understand? Why I say that? Iglas did have a system. There was a time when Igla used to buy a house up on the hill. I'm telling you, Igla did have a system where Igla did get rich. Igla did buy not house, land. Igla did buy land on the hill like whoa. Me tell you what Igla did use bringing them thing there. Caprison, Arizona, red and white cornflakes. You name it. Me have some more eat more. What do one name? Ensure Plus. What do one always think of take away? Cranberry juice. You see, after that, Mr. Patterson come with a thing named macroeconomic and take away the whole of that from Igla. Igla can't even buy a Portmore house again. Downtown market was like, wow. Container used to come off like, whoa. When I say Igla used to get rich, Igla did have a mechanism that make them rich. The average Jamaican ghetto person could have just get rich over a significant little bit of years over these things. Them used to, them switch it, Mr. Patterson switch it and give it to corporate. Right now, corporate don't even bring in nothing new. At the same thing them what Igla got discover. Look around now. The same Arizona, the same red and white cornflakes, the same mac and cheese, the same Capri Sun, the same cranberry juice. Same things them what Igla did go source them thing there. And bring in a Jamaica and did I get rich. Igla used to buy land. Them every big Igla did that one piece of land up on the hills. People don't remember that. There was a time when every big Igla used to buy a piece of land. Them run out Portmore house them and done. Done and tired of that and start build houses, buy land on the hill and a build mansion. Every year, Iglas are go up there. And them switch it with the macro, I guess, them call it the macro economy. And them take it to a car right now, corporate have everything. That is the biggest transfer of wealth in this country. Enough people don't even realize it, and it slip past a whole heap of people. Like I said, I don't like none of the party them, you know. So, and a target, no single one. But people seem to forget, say, that mechanism what people did have them on the level, they did change people's life drastically. People, why did I do Igla could I buy Portmore house? Like, whoa, the most Portmore house. And was graduate from that. All who did have Igla in them family can analyze me I tell. Them can get testimony to that. All who did know Igla can get testimony to that. Now, at the China, them, well, cause still China own the West Cinco and all of them places. Them just flip the switch and get the China them, all of them thing there exclusively. You understand? Well, me did I say point out to the ones them, you know, within that brother they did attack the PMP bring in the phone. Anybody come in the phone did out there. But me I tell him the real thing what Mr. Patterson do.
Exactly, because
Yeah?
at the end of the day, it no matter who in a power, if technology come about or innovation come about,
Them did not come milk Jamaica anyway, because digital and lime and milk Jamaica how long. You see how long them flow take with give it like yard and road. From in the 80s, every weekend foreign cellular phone free.
right.
Go straight back till from phone come out America every weekend it free off business hours and all kind of little amenities where them could have digital and flow could have give them not give you them thing there until competition amongst them one another. Then them pinch off a little thing. You see what I say?
Right.
So me just did not tell them, say, none of them party they no good, because poor people, they have a mechanism. When you got town back in them days with all $1,000, in a 1 week, your money big, change. Town was a different ball game. The immigration, them used to just come at the market, come just bust the container them to the way. A town used to supply the whole supermarket. And the man them, the corporate, the politician them and the corporate saying, we no can't have that. Too much Igla go live up on the hills and now we now can control and manipulate, you know. Couldn't have a mechanism like that. That was a great mechanism in a poor people and you understand? A powerful mechanism. Them see it, corporate now let it go. You know how much money we sink make off of those cranberry alone since Igla stopped bring them in? You know how much money make off of those cranberry alone? Crazy millions, gazillions. You know what I mean? But that's why it goes still. Them Igla can't buy not even a Portmore house again. You know what I mean? And them say a better thing for we when we can live like that. I mean, but sure.
Yeah,
But, you know. That's why one's for
it come back around to the same thing, when you see the people who the government now say, listen, mash down the stall them and take them out of them here, right? Them not have a license for do whatever. And the same progress.
same kind of concept. Micro and macro. Yeah, the micro and the macro. Same thing.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But at the end
You
of
see how them a take set bank traffic now? You see how them a work traffic now? Like a cash cow. I tell you, the biggest revenue in Jamaica for the government at traffic, you know. Hotel business now make money for them like traffic, you know.
Well,
20 years, out I exaggerate, 20 years ago, and the police them a mafia too. 20 years ago or so. Well, alright, let me don't exaggerate. 15 years ago, I watch a Cliff Hughes show. But I think CVM in their company or one of them things. You can go research it because it's posted up on the YouTube still. Police them wanted a raise. And them go and a panel of police lawyer go on Cliff Hughes show. I watch the police them now. Police them and say, Cliff Hughes, there's no reason why we can forget a grade. And say, watch this. And back up some physical years worth of document. And back up about 3 physical years backward. And say, look how much millions of dollars we make for the government. Police have a vivid record of how much money they make for the government. That sound manipulative. Anyway, him say, don't watch that. And look back the documents and pick say, watch the next physical year. It quadruple up that.
That's how they
And look back that one there. And open the next about 4 physical year. The man have some documents and the money just a raise extensively. It upon a Cliffview show about 15 to 20 years ago. Now when the police have a record like that, me never know of no other country where police keep a vivid record of how much money they make one ticket.
Right.
That sound like a mafia business. Me don't know. But you know, we have to be careful because all the little police up on them line thing and scrutinize and watching and they love watching people and name and I don't want them see me out the road and understand? Because them not forget face and forget name. You know what I mean?
No,
So
Right.
I mean I my
no.
face up me not hide.
Just to add to your point, I actually remember that show, and what I
You
remembered
didn't
about
see it?
that show. Wait. Let me just say this. What I remembered was about that show was basically one of the things we face today. The police officer said that he is not a crime preventer. He is a crime manager. He made that
Wow, man.
distinct point on that show. I remember
Me
that
never
show.
hear that part, them a boss, cause me so shocked about how them have the documents with all this money what them a collect, like a accountant. Me couldn't even hear nothing else. Me sorry. And you hear that what him say? Tid cup. Fire and a fire. Yeah. So you see what them a deal with. So anything them do, them will get away with it, you know. They can't blood, no trouble them, you know, them unstoppable. And them a big dictator cause them a collect the biggest revenue for the government, boy, you know, brother. You see it.
Give me 1 second.
Yes, Prime Minister. Take your time. Take your time. Um, Definitely have to really and truly respect Khaled in the house if she's still here. Um, on everybody, cause the place here is my one place me spend my money on GPS and internet and forward too. Cause yes, that makes sense.
Yes, people. Dig up on yourself again. And listen, all of this play a big role in our full life, you know, because we all affected. Is it? And
That voice just sound familiar.
yeah, man, I mean, same way. So we all affected by all of these things happening around us. Whether we ignore it or not, you know, it still play a role in how we experience. You see me? So we're not gonna put a blind eye on politics or put a blind eye on, you know, certain things we are going. But at the same time, we have to have some kind of focus, you see it? Because we can't be one-sided in anything. We have to be kind of versatile to say, all right, even though I'm not really into this, we still have to kind of have a little bit of an eye out to see what really are going, yes, so just maybe the highlights of whatever, and you keep it moving. You see me? Because, like for me, you know, most of my studies surround the law. Most of my things them surround how can I improve my life and the life of my people. But at the same time, I go in one cave if you say, blouse and skirt, election are going, I don't know. Could they? Look on this, look on that. No. I still gain some kind of oversight and knowledge from what really are going. That's why I address it in the constitution and explain to you and break down what really happened when time election are going. Because I study it. I don't just watch news. You see me? So at the end of the day, more people for know say you can't be one-sided in anything. Because it's just like the man will learn about the light and the dark. Him always going to be more powerful than them we just stay in the light. Because him have the knowledge will balance the scale. You see me? So, either way, I want to show you this video that came out yesterday. And I go play it on an accelerated schedule, so we don't waste too much time on it, but I just want to hear from an attorney at law. And also hear this gentleman situation. So me I go
Thing around.
play it. See me can turn it down because I don't want it too loud and an echo.
And they were on their walkie-talkie and they said, oh, spot one on foot. So I'm saying one on foot. I'm the only one here. So the one on foot. And then I realized they were talking about me.
So who you support? The police or Jamaicans for justice? Because it looked like they're drawing a line right down the center, you know, and it looks like you have to choose. Either or either. Pick your choice, as we say in Jamaica. Well, in the meantime, while you think about that, I have Jerome's story to share with you. I'm Dion Jackson Miller. Thanks so much for watching. Time for tea. So Human Rights Group Jamaicans for Justice had a protest demonstration in Halfway Tree at the end of April because they said they were worried about the number of police killings so far this year. In February, they had said the 50 fatal shootings by the police since the start of 2025 was more than double the number for 2024, which had been 19. So they said they were going to protest and everybody getting at their feelings, government in their feelings, police in their feelings, right? And then now this narrative, which not really new, but they certainly heard it very, very strongly, suggesting that you're either for one or the other. And I don't know why people are doing this, right? I 100% support the police. I recognize they put their lives on the line for us every time they go.
All right, so I'm gonna pause there for a second. Right, I'm not gonna go through this whole thing where Miss Miller explain her position, but basically what she has said, and again, this video is available on YouTube. What she's saying is that she support the police, but she's not going to turn a blind eye on people who are complaining of fatalities, people who are complaining about all sorts of different issues, and also disparaging things that are happening in their lives, because people now just get up so and come in the public and start blame everybody, right? There has to be some kind of truth to it. So me I go skip past that part and come round to the gentleman's story so you can hear for yourself what happened to this young man here.
People should take sides because a whole heap of people, you know, a whole heap of young men have stories like Jerome's.
Yeah, this is not a story that I talk about a lot. Well, not anymore, because now I see the humor side to it. We laugh about it and we talk about it and so on. But like, I think 2017, 2018, so this is not a 2023 or 2024 story. I was coming from Plant Spring Playfield, and I reached a Ruby's gas station at Eastwood Park Road here, across from the transport center. And I was walking towards the Papi UTEC taxi stand. Alright? Just as I'm about to pass well, I'm on the side of the transport center, walking towards the pedestrian crossing. I realized that everybody's running towards me. I heard some explosions, then I said, oh, that's one shot. So if everybody's running towards me, then there's no need for me to go across the road. So I turned back, went towards the direction of the Ruby's gas station. The police, I saw 3 police sprinting around, and they were on their walkie-talkie, and they said, oh, spot one on foot. So I'm saying, one on foot, I'm the only one here. So I looked again when they said one on foot, and then I realized they were talking about me. So I said, whoa, this can't be me. So they came across the road and they said, where the gun? I said, which gun? I don't have any gun, brother. He said, on your knees, hand in the ear. Went on my knees, hand in the ear. Because I know I'm bleeding. Then the police just put the gun one time. I'm my forehead like this, pointing it in my forehead. That's where the gun.
So I so share the rest of Jerome's story, but just remember this. A whole heap of young men have stories like that. A whole heap of them who have scary encounters with the police, like Jerome, just don't talk about it. We really only hear the major, most terrible stories that make the news. And yes, there are those as well. My station, the station I work for, TVJ, for instance, reported on the case of a young man who had been shot by police and said he then played dead because he was afraid of being killed. So what's happening now is that everybody's very concerned about what's happening with crime and murder. All right, well, we're Jamaican, we've been concerned for years, and murders are down. The numbers look good, and that's fantastic news. So Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake, for instance, said in a video statement that April 2025 saw the lowest number of murders in over 20 years, 45 murders compared to 82 in April 2024. And in February, there had been 48 murders, which at that time was the lowest number in 20 years. And look, that's really good news. We don't have to argue about that. There's nothing to argue about. It's fantastic news. But there is a problem if people are going to want to ignore concerns that are raised about police excesses or police killings because they say, you know, boy, police kill you something or something. You must be a murderer. You must be a criminal because police say no one go on. And accepting just blindly that every single person who is killed by the police must have been firing at them, accepting without question whatever the story it is we're getting from the police. Because it's okay to have questions. It's okay to listen to people who have had scary encounters and to say, hold on, is that right? So this is the Executive Director of Jamaicans for Justice, Michael Jackson, speaking in this JFJ video at the demonstration.
From our host government that came out, we saw the support of our former Executive Director and co-founder, and it just demonstrates that they are sticking to the mandate of JFJ. So again, we just want to say thanks, the strength of the victims that were here today. We celebrate them, We express our empathy for them. And again, let us continue to raise our collective voices in solidarity for the cause of the body work campus. So again, job well done. And to the officers who were here, very pleasant, and they protected us.
So when the police commissioner goes on to say, even as we make gains, there are those who seek to sow seeds of discord and mistrust, who try to paint our officers as anything but the professionals they are. Even as we make gains, there are
So people, well, pause there for a second. I'm going to get back to the story now. But I want you to look at this, that the Commissioner of Police issued after the whole situation regarding the march, the JFJ march, right? Because for the life of me, I could not figure out if you are innocent and if you want to claim that you are with the people and you are only here to fight crime, what is wrong with someone saying we need more accountability and we just need everybody to be honest? What is wrong with that? How can you come out and say point blank that all of the officers are professional? Really? How can you come out and really say this? After, and again, it's not just accusations, you know, people have video, people have audio, people have picture, people have scars, people have jail stories, people have court. All of these evidences are there. And this man is going to come out and say that people are trying to sow seed of mistrust and discord. What do you mean by that? Like, you try to say people are fabricate story? You know, that like me say, me not take sides, you know, but me pick sense from nonsense. This year, so, this no make no farmer sense to me, honestly. You can't say every police professional. Me not believe that none at all because me see with my own eyes. Me get approached by police several times before. And I know all of them I go want to listen to anything what you say. I know all of them in a professional manner. And many times, them want to have a power trip. Because them figure say, yo, me have authority and you don't have none. So whatever me say, that me I go do. Anyways, let us get back to this gentleman here. And what him say happened to him.
Pointed it in my forehead. That's what it gun. I said, I don't want the gun, brother. And the next officer who was beside him said, no, leave this man alone. It's obvious you don't have a clue what's going on. He said, no, man, you don't know them, man. You start searching me and touch and realize that, oh, don't have any gun. Then him said, well, you're lucky. You're lucky this man is here with you. Yeah. So I don't know if it is a lucky escape or him trying to show his dominance or whatever it is. But it took me some time to tell my people. I didn't tell them till like almost a month after. Yeah. And I have police friends. I have police friends. They know that police are not my greatest friends, but I don't have anything against the police. But that was a very scary encounter because on another day, I could just have been, what if? Or that would you probably be singing choruses saying I'm a good person or whatever. But even the night when I got home, all I could see that night was just the gun pointing in my face. I couldn't sleep or anything. But that was very scary.
So apart from stories like Jerome's, thank God, ended happily. He's still here to talk about it. Not all of them end like that, right? And I'm going to remind you of two incidents from our past, two stories that we must never forget, in which the two young men did not get to walk away and tell their story. 1992, the death of Ghana Bart, a 21-year-old carpenter, locked up by the police at Constant Spring Police Station. And I'm going to tell that story through the words of one of the men who had been locked up in a cell with a Ghana Bart. This was from...
Alright, so that was pretty much the bulk of the video. She went through a couple of other stories of other people who suffered the same. Some of them who didn't make it. You get what I say? But at the end of the day, this is not a bashing of the police. Zine? It's not a bashing of the police. As me say many times. It is just a matter of if we cannot hold the public officials accountable, right? If everybody is not held to the same standard of the law, then what are we really doing as a public? Because we vote them into power, you know. And if we are going to vote people into power, and then the people that we vote into power are not going to be in our best interest, meaning if we make a complaint to say, listen, We have a problem here and we're going to be ignored. All because it's an organization and they don't believe that they are our servants. Then where does that leave us? Where does that leave us as a people? The only recourse we have nowadays is to go through the courts. And this is why a public notice is so important. Because once we have the public notice out there, and what are we talking about? Let us talk in context, because when we talk about public notice, right? We have to make sure say everybody realize what we're talking about. Because we talked about this several times before, but we might have some new people, right? In the order in Council 1962 that we call our Constitution, we have chapter 3, which is called the chapter of fundamental rights and freedoms, right? This is what many of you have been hearing as of late. And the fundamental rights and freedoms, it says these are protections, right? But guess what? The protections are not activated. What do I mean by that? When you go to the fundamental rights, right? When you go to the fundamental rights, you have, let me show you what it says. I figure. I'm going to bring it up so all of we can see it. It says, whereas the state has an obligation to promote universal respect for and observance of human rights and freedom. It never say they must uphold it. So while they recognize it and they see it, and they are urged to promote it, right? They say obligation to promote it, So that means that these rights are in reserve. These rights that are listed in the Constitution are not activated until you make a claim. I am not the one saying this, you can read it for yourself. You can go buy a copy or you can go on the internet and download a copy of this document. And you can read it for yourself. It says the state has an obligation to promote universal respect for observance of human rights and freedoms. So all they have to do is observe it and promote it. Again, just respect. That no mean say they can't violate it. That no mean say they have any immediate consequences. That don't mean any of that. All it is saying is that the state should recognize that these rights exist. So it is up to the individual when they get an attorney and they make a claim. It is up to the individual when they make their own claims in court. It is up to the individual at all times to invoke and activate these rights, to bring forth. Invoke means to bring forth and activate. Bring forth and do something with. So if you don't know what you are reading when you're going through this document, you will read it and you say, but wait, yeah man, protection's there, so. Yeah man, protection there, so, but the protection is not activated. Because the very top of the document is explaining to you what exactly the position of the state, which is Jamaica, what position the state has as it pertains to this entire document. So when somebody violates, this is why you have to go to court and litigate it. You want to eliminate this nonsense here and activate your rights. And once you activate your rights, guess what? As soon as them step in a patrol, you knock them. As soon as somebody mash your can, you claim repercussions. You get what I'm saying? You don't need to prove anything because you already put everybody on public notice. So this is why I am urging everyone to be on board with us having our own publication where we can put things in the public on notice as we see fit. We do not want to have gatekeepers where we want to publish something and they say we cannot publish that. Make sense? If we have our own publication, we can publish whatever we want as long as it does not violate someone else's right. We can publish whatever we want as long as we are not over here conducting commerce. We can even put up classifieds and all kinds of different things on here. So if you have a little business or you have a little this, you have a little that, we can publish it as well. We simply will not charge anyone. We might have a donation button where if you feel like you want to give a gift or you want to, assist with the upkeep of the website or whatever, that's fine. But at the end of the day, this is not a money-making venture. This is simply for the community, for the collective public of Jamaica. You should not have to be paying for everything. The only reason we are paying for everything is because what? We are crab in a barrel. We don't come together for the common good of everybody. We all want to gain something from doing something. That is exactly why we are suffering. If we realize that we can come together and get many things done, again, we are not coming together just to gain on an individual basis. You're coming together to gain as a collective. Because something like this can have multi-generational effects. Okay? Now, once we have our public notices in every parish for 60 days, we can now effectively state that this website is a public publication nationally recognized in Jamaica. So there would be a section here. As a matter of fact, it can even be right here on the homepage where you have the announcement and the posts, right? We have pictures of the notices in every parish, right? Anywhere the notices are posted, we post them here on the site. So that when we look at time, for example, we have a post here from May 13, right? When we go back and we look at the time on this website, we can clearly see when the publications were made, when the notices were put up, when this was made available to the public. Everything would be here in the forefront. So nobody can claim that, oh, this was not available, oh, this was not there, oh, because you cannot backdate things when it comes to a website. A website must always be updated. It goes by the time that is available on the internet. So you cannot go back and post something from last week. It doesn't work like that. The date and time it posted, that is when it stays on the site, right? So this would become a repository and an archive for anything that we want to do. We don't have to go through the gatekeeper them and the people them who are restricting us with all kind of questions and fees. And they are charging the fee because we are doing it individually. So they consider it to be commerce. So, like I was saying earlier, we have different sections here, and these are going to expand. You're going to have more menus and more things on this site. But for now, the documents that are available on Telegram, they are going to also be available on this website. The site is not fully populated yet. I am still having someone work on it. And once we have the documents and things available, I'm going to be announcing them on lives like this. And also, I don't really want to post them in videos on the site. But at some point, I will start making some videos with updates so people know that other things are available on the site. And it will also be posted in Telegram as well. So for those on the computer, you can simply go, to the download section, and you'll be able to get to the documents more readily and in a more comprehensive form. So like someone mentioned earlier, instead of downloading each document one by one, you can go in and download a zip file with all the documents pertaining to, let's say, a traffic ticket, all the documents related to a tort claim, all the documents related to specific scenarios, right? And you have all the templates you would need, for whatever purpose. And also, you have the acts of parliaments and things like that. We would have some of those documents posted on here for the public's benefit. So you don't have to keep clicking around, searching all over the internet to find one document. You would simply come here, you download it, and you're good. So that is the website. Here we have a disclaimer that will always be publicly available. It says, this is a constitutional assembly in accordance with the Jamaica Constitution, Order in Council 1962. Charter of Rights, Section 13(3)(e), F, and K. Non-commercial, not for hire, no trade, not for profit, off duty, public assembly forum. So whatever assumptions and presumptions they would like to make, it would have to be outside of what we have declared here. Or unless they can prove that we are conducting some kind of regulated activity, which they will not be able to do so.
Back up now, my boss.
Yes,
You hear
sir.
me now? Okay. Look like the internet when I get problem.
Yeah, man, because it'll lag out bad.
Yeah, man, me realize.
Yeah.
Yeah, back to it when I say the point where you say now with the police now and the thing. You're right on track, Because when me look on a bad move when me say the government and the Prime Minister make, where they when you have Jamaica for Justice come out there and them advertise them are coming in blue and the police say them are in a black. Alright, the Prime Minister now. Him are the mediator between the two, He's supposed to be the mediator, He's not supposed to take off on side, You are the government, because the two of them are do a work. One I say, boy, right, you shouldn't do that. This one I say, me do it for your cause. You not supposed to be a mediator. You supposed to come in a neutral clothes. You not come in no politics clothes. You not come in no black. And you not come in a no blue. You come and you go and talk to the two sides. But for the moment you come now in a black. And you talk to the police and you shake with them and you don't go over the other side. What that look to you now, my boss? What that look to you?
But the police is an extension of the Prime Minister,
Right. That's for sure equality now. You're supposed to come in a neutral thing then.
No, but
don't
it's not
come
equal.
Yeah?
It's not equal.
Then look here, then if Jamaica with justice say you have to wear body camera. Jamaica with justice is not against the police, no, then say wear body camera because people say you've been doing things where not right. You've been analyzing people what is not right. So if you're supposed to wear your body camera, you take millions of your taxpayer money and go buy it, and you not use it. Why it make sense?
Right.
When you go take your money buy it when you not use it, that means you then tell lie for you. We don't know if I lie.
Right.
So you know if you wear it, wear it then. And sure we say, boy, when me I say I chew me, I do them a shoot after me. Because if you tell me say everything I shoot out, then I saw them money handling. Because not in my police car and police jeep no get damaged. Look what police car, police jeep big. Then I saw them money handling cheap where them a shoot after you. And not even they came shoot one police car. You don't show me a shot hole in a police car or a jeep. Much less a police get shot. Every time you shoot out and them dead, and you can't show me a shot hole in a jeep, so yes, see there. Because you're not the first place you take cover is behind your vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
Don't it?
Right.
Good. Then if you run down back there and them a shoot, one almost not even one shot in one car or one jeep, man.
Right.
Never take people for fool, man. So that's why you see, you take $1,000 go buy the thing, brother, and you now wear it. Why it makes sense you when do that for? People, you say a shoot or people say a lie. You kick off the gun, man shoot after you a drag one for you. If you have your brother camera, you go and show,
Well,
face mass up. Your face mass up like down in the Middle East. Me can't, me no know if a robot or a human being. Me no know if a robot or a human being, my brother.
well, here we go on. You see, the
You
thing
see
is,
it?
people, again, are the ignorance of we, the people, you know. I mean, I put myself in it too.
Yeah.
Because several years ago, me never know none of this.
Yes.
Me did have to learn, me did have to read, me did have to research, me did have to do all of that. So,
I understand you, man. I understand you, yeah.
are the ignorance of all the way we make all of this go on. Because we as people don't realize that we are supposed to be instructing the government on what we want before we put them in a power.
Yeah, but we tell them, but them not do it.
No. Let me say that again.
Good.
We the people supposed to tell the government. We're supposed to put them in a right. We supposed to have for our own press conference, for our own community meeting, for our own everything. To come up with the problems where we want government work on. But what's
I
happening
understand you.
is, what
Get a
happened
point
is
where
the
you say.
government have put together a feeding plan and I give we because we don't have nothing.
Me get a point where you say, but why you believe one side vote out? One side them vote out, yes. The other side. Yeah, man, I'm putting the other side. No, man, no other pull you can't go through. Yeah, why you believe them
That
vote out
is
one
not
side
what's
and put in
happening.
the other side?
That is not what's happening. What is happening is every 5 years, the government is dissolved.
Mm-hmm.
When you see election time come around, the government is going to be dissolved. And
Yes,
once
we
the
know
government is dissolved, we a vote for put back somebody in there.
Well, that is true. Yeah. Yeah, you start from scratch again.
So we keep on create this problem every 5 years. The whole of,
You have a point.
whether we
You have a
vote or
point.
not, it is
You
because
have a
we as a
point.
collective now come together. Forget
You
this
have a
thing
point.
proper.
Yeah, because when the security minister now, imagine you are the security minister, the police them are work under you, you know. You are the boss.
Right.
You them are work with.
Well, the
And you are
police
going to
are
tell
the
them,
boss.
right. And you are going to say, shoot and ask question. Good God Almighty, man. When you tell your worker to do that now, we can't blame the police, you know. Because boss tell him to do it.
Right.
So when you say you have a point there, so because if me I work with you and you say boss take a shovel and take up five barrel of sand, and me take up the 5 barrel and you shouldn't take up, and you tell me if you do it for you, me I work with you know.
Exactly, because you have a job.
Right. So when you come to me say shoot ask question, what kind of wicked statement that you make, man?
Again, it come down to the same thing. Are we not know enough to hold them accountable? So we have ignorance from 1962 until now. Because even when we publicly declare, we hear the public declaration to say we're free. Right?
Yeah.
And them say, them have put together a constitution. Right then and there, when that first time them put in the order in council 1962, we should have been see that and have a problem with it.
Yeah, but no for we never ban. Me the ban but me little.
Right.
We never ban.
Right.
But
yes.
most of them people are never educated, you know. You see when constitution are put up, 95% of Jamaican never educated, you know, and they just take what you tell them, you know. And then enough of them say their name for the bull, they don't know if them name the pan, you know. A X them make, then just hold their hand and say make one X, yeah, so, and a sign your sign. So you can't obey the people into that, you know.
No,
you have
man.
to beat the one who have the upstairs. And the one who have the upstairs you have to beat. You can't beat it 95% of the people. Because not even school them could have gone my boss.
All right, fine. When they start go school and then can start learn how to read and write. Because enough of our parents and foreparents them not full. So when them could have learned to read and write, them should have sit down and try to figure out why are we in this position and what is this document. They must say constitution and they must say we have rights and because I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, but it a act pan now, you know. If you see it little by little, it a come in from then time come up to now. Because even, you know, if we wish we talk it through my boss, you know, America take 200 years. I think 200 years before them come to for them, like what you call it, democracy and what them say them a come to, and then constitution right, We nobody know, because we gone 60 a year. And what? I must say around 60 a year also for we
No.
think.
America took 200 years after slavery.
Yes.
And
Right.
before slavery,
Mhm.
America included Jamaica.
But we come here as slave, me boss. We come here, and to them two of the
No,
parents
big man.
come here, we don't know nothing about no. When we parents have work for we 4 parents, then time they come here, slave them, They not even know English,
Big man.
I beat them, to say their name Toby, I your name Macy, I your name Mara,
Watch too much
I
TV.
beat them, to say so,
Roots, boss.
Watch too much
I know
TV.
roots, man, I facts me attack, man.
No, sir. Me can
That's
prove you
all I
wrong.
know. When the African them come here first, when we 4 parents them come here, them
No.
will know S.O. who
Prison. Yeah, well,
we
prison.
don't know what
Jamaica
them
is
a
a
say,
prison.
Big man.
Right, good.
Big man.
That
Well, I
even
know.
more better one what me say.
Well, I know.
Mm-hmm.
You say our forefathers
Yes.
come here as slave.
Right?
Where you get that information from?
Then you're not in a history, man.
No, sir. Where you get the information?
Well, history book
Okay.
and teaching.
Okay. That is a falsity.
Why you say that?
Because today, if you sit down and even, you never have to write it down. If you sit down and think about what them say,
Mm-hmm.
say them take slave from Africa to populate Jamaica. That makes sense to you?
No, them not say them populate. Then take off your work, I work, then can we come here for working and not populate.
So all right.
But
How long
in the
how
process
long
you
people
populate,
live?
but they not can you populate. They can have to slave you work.
How long people live back then? Is
Hey.
it any different from now?
Yeah, man used to live longer than tell them one now still. And if they not kill
No.
them.
You need
Once
to
they
do
not kill
some
them, they live longer.
elder. No disrespect.
No, man.
But,
The reason we are reason.
what you say right now is not
Yes.
true. It's not
Well,
true.
you yet to tell me which part me wrong, because me want you can't teach me to, but me want to know
But
Yes.
which
I
part me
know,
wrong.
I know which part. I know which part, of the whole life. I know which part. Wait, listen. You're 60 at done, and I'm a 41, and you have 20 a year to take care of this. And the juvenile them are forward now for angle the situation. So what we are do is a sense you can't teach old dog new tricks. But must say you have an interest where you try see as you said, slow progress. But them juvenile nowadays, not really another slow thing. Them a chop it up. You hear them a talk about them a chop the line. Them a try get through to it. They say the ways how they used to angle it and the timid way when I approach the thing, it never did work for Uno. And it now them say it never work for Uno. So the juvenile them now take it up on themselves. Them are present like right as you hear a man present the case for people can get up and say, we are talking about, you can lawful. You can take up your cross and go bear it and carry it to the court and get retribution. Hey, but then another class here, I'm here how I can get $5 million per time when I get violate. And it's not like my have to go research far. It's just that I sit down and listen. I sit down and hear and observe. So I understand what you're saying now with the complaints. Cause yeah, TikTok kind of make you invite and say, like a rum bar, you drink a rum and you talk to the bartender and talk about the problem of the day. And not really the problem of the day, Cause everybody go through them, Or the solution of the day, This yes, you don't know. You find out how to fix it. So you see, when you now show to the indigenous prime minister and say to him these things, he might try fix it, because I just saw him steer. He might try figure out how best to help you. But me I try show you now say, to help yourself, you don't have to really just listen to the reasoning we're going. Because and on the side there, so no politics, no preach, everything what them a do as the prime minister try explain to you. Every 5 years the politician them change because of the management. we pick which manager we want for run Jamaica every 5 years. So when the things them happen to we, because we pick them. You see me? I really that much I set it say, yeah, them are going with a we and them are do them thing and them thing the year, but I really we pick them. And if I that year forward, I will understand say we for pick where we want. And them for come tell us say them can do this and that for we. We for sit down and figure out say, all right, we want this done, this done, this done. Him qualify, him not qualify. Him can do this, him can do this. And give them the work what them for do. Not the other way around. And the other way around is done because we're subjective with it. You know, we take it time. And what the Prime Minister try to tell about the Jamaica and the indigenous people with regards to how it's populated at 98% ethnically melanin. If it is to translate that, why so much black people there and no white people there, is because they had to come and buck some. Even in the history where I read, Columbus come never tell the same come buck white people when they reach. You see me? And even after Columbus, before slave come, them did have indentured laborers with the Spaniards who used to live here before 1655. You have only for that it was a different. Them did a draw out. Them did a draw out the black people them out of the prison them in a Spain and I send them over long before slavery reach ya. You see me? As a matter of fact, the reason why them get to know we shot Jamaica there are because the people them in the prison tell them we shot Jamaica did there. Then they just conquer them. Just kick over the government and take over Spain and have the whole of the more them. The people them were used to rule Spain before in a prison lock up. And I saw come Columbus go to them and find out the direction for all for reach yourself. So nobody believe like what them I tell you as to you see all right, this is what you call slave where reach Jamaica just to make you know how it go. And I really slave them land yourself or the prisoner them. You see when the ship are moved from Africa to Yasso, you have a set of man where no matter how much time you lick them nah hear you. No matter how much every time the door open, them a try run and jump out, them a go fight. You see them on there, them drop them off right at Port Royal. Port Royal them dump the whole of them man there. And a slave them. Them they are not slave, them they are prisoner. You see me, the slave them carry God the new world we can take lick. Who can take it? Go America they that place them. So yeah, that are the energy right now with the generation yeah, feature. That is why you see them a do the effective thing them. And I hear them a quarrel about what police are do again. You have a car, get a GoPro. It's something for record so when you're ready for dealing whatever happen, you can go to the judge and have your evidence. You know? So just take it, just take little time and listen a little more. All the way the police them are doing the killings and the sorting out we need to sort out. Just listen to the Prime Minister a little bit more, man. He might give you the solution then.
Yeah,
Right now, as I must say, you think so?
But you know,
No, but
but you know really say different from where me I say. And go one
no,
thing you say,
no, we're not.
not slave them, but me I tell you say, if them come as prisoner, then turn around and slave them.
No.
Because them not work and get paid. They never work and get paid, you know. You force them to work and beat them to work.
Mr. Sydney.
So that must be slave.
Mr. Sydney.
Yeah.
Let me explain something for you. Right?
Yeah.
Because you know what they say, you probably didn't go on the page to see the series that I just started. So I'll just put it in a nutshell for you.
Yeah.
Give me just 2 minutes, I'm gonna explain it to you.
Yeah, man.
Alright. In the Caribbean, first and foremost, the Europeans are what we call white people.
Mm-hmm.
We know that them not come from nowhere tropical, right?
Mm-hmm.
We agree to that.
They not come from where?
They not come from nowhere we're warm.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that means that if them left somewhere, if them left with them own climate and them try come here so, them are gonna be discomforted. Them not gonna like it. Them not gonna want there so.
Yeah.
Right? So that being the case, when them come over here so, right? And most something them come for though. Alright. We hear about the Pirates of the Caribbean and we hear about treasure and we hear about all them something there. Let me ask that question. Where them get treasure from? See a ship back go England and Europe and Spain and all them places.
You mean from when? You mean they know much Jamaica they didn't get it from, man?
Okay, so if them a get treasure from Jamaica, that no mean say civilization did there so before.
Yeah, but let me agree with that. Them try them come see people, you know.
All right, so hold on.
Indian and what them name.
Me just want to make sure say we're on the same page of thinking.
Yeah, man, them come see people.
So when time you make a statement to say, them bring our forefathers here and then bring the slave them here, you have to be very careful with that kind of language. Because when you mix up what you think say is slaves with actual people who are warriors, people who just naturally did if it defend something, is not the same as somebody captured and being subjugated as a slave.
So hold on. Yeah, well, let me get you right. So you feel say them just come free of will and then capture them and carry them come here?
Some of them were captured, yes, but you
all of them, no man now come free.
Of course man come free.
No,
I mean,
no, sir.
before the English, hold on, man, listen now, learn something. You see, before the English them do the chain and shackle something, them used to have the Spanish them. The Hablo Espanol them used to live at Jamaica before the English them.
Exactly.
And the black people them were used to come on the ship with them, never know nothing about chain. Them a come for work. Them a gather up and raise a job. You know, like all the China them they come out here and the railroad them build America and them something there. Indentured workers and the Indian them and the coolie cut cane, way. Yes, same way so the black people them come with the Spanish before the English come with slave. I see the English people them see the black people, yes sir, and say, oh, we can't do the work and we can't beg them people to do the work. So make we go and get some people who favor them people here and also come the slave them come. So you have to understand, say the slave them where them bring.
Let me get you. Let me get you. I mean, I want to miss off a track. So what you want to tell me, say no? Like, oh no, we don't go to England and America now. Free will, right? And so you feel, in them time then now before them start slave thing, before them start the slave trade, black people used to come from Africa, come here then buy them
Long
free
time.
will like how we like so.
Long time.
Yeah, you hear that jobs in Canada, something where they on the internet apply for visa and job in Canada, something. And that same thing. Same exactly.
Me go on the program. Me know what you say. Me go on the program over there, you know. Me go on it. Me used to go. Me go on the
Hey,
program.
I can share something about Jamaica.
But why it's hard for me understand me believe that part they do.
I can share something about Jamaica.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
man.
That's
And I never see
That's right.
what them call Iris.
Eh?
Eh? And I never see the picture of the eye of Iris.
Yeah.
Eh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now observe Jamaica good. Jamaica is a replica of that eye. You know, with the eye of Iris have a little thing on the bottom part right there, so always like a little V thing, a little come off of it. But look on Jamaica good and look on the eye of Iris when it have the thing underneath it and see if under the same thing. Jamaica now a normal place, you know, but we can't know some people now got ready for them kind of energy there still. But Jamaica, I never believe in so much of the slavery thing. Because Jamaica one highly spiritual and a one normal place. I want to tell you that Jamaica is the center of the universe. But most people are going to deter now going to believe that. That now going to acceptable. Yeah.
So why you want
understand?
Why you want
And then again, the sun stand up eye to eye. Because you know Jamaica and all that.
Go put back the shorts.
Eh?
Why you want
Why more erase?
history? Because you say you don't believe in it. Why you want to erase it? And I think what actually happened.
No. Sydney, Mr. Sydney.
The slavery, I think it's a mental thing that we have a trick with, you know. Cause
Yeah.
some of them slavery story, them, I don't believe in it, and the arrow, we don't know.
All right, so
but
let me say something.
we slave mentally, yes. Something really happened, yes, but
No, more say something.
Yeah, man.
You see, when we talk about topics, we don't want to use speculation. You get the mess? Well, as far as I am concerned,
Yeah.
I don't talk about speculation or something that I can't prove. Because at the end of the day, we can all think about ideas. And we don't know which one right. So we never really want to jump to that kind of thing where I say, yeah, I saw it's supposed to be, or this makes sense, or that makes no. We want to have some grounding foundation. We can say, all right, yes, this provable. Yes, that provable. What we can use today for measure what we are talking about. Because otherwise, everybody free for.
I'm a measure in everything. We don't even have snow at Jamaica, and we do best in some snow athletic. We do the best in everything. Our thing just, if you check we out, in a polar sport, everything them put we in, we accelerate. We're not normal.
Right, but
we're not enough. I just you have no identity, but our vibration are normal.
Yeah, but more,
you know what I mean?
More get back to the slavery thing.
But if you check it out, man,
yeah, man.
this place I produce the best of the best.
Yeah, man, I gotta check it out. But
so hold on, before we even slavery, now we did invent the first electricity.
Yeah.
Down a back walk there, so we had the slave when we had to do them something, eh? Okay.
Right, and we develop a lot of things, you know, but
enough more things. Enough more things we invent too.
Because in bring up the whole slavery point, I mean, know a lot of people have the idea, say, because we learn about these things from either an institution or a so-called educator or from some kind of book, that it must be correct because it makes sense. But most of the time, we don't test the things that we are learning against reality. We are testing it against a theory. And once we are given a solution to something, our brain no longer questions it. Because now the brain are going to think, say, what? We are waste time. Why we are going to try to find another answer to something that we already have an answer to? Then, so when we're talking about slavery, we have to talk in reality terms. Remember, you know, the first things first. The Europeans themselves, even today, tell you that they do not like sanitary things. They don't like to bathe more than once a week or sometimes even once every couple of weeks. Them do that to them picnic too. That's number one. Number two, almost every disease in the world that we have today come from somewhere in Europe because of the kind of liberty them used to have. This is why they talk about the diseases and the different things we catch from some of the ship them, where they could even get rid of. But somehow, when time them in the Caribbean for a while, much of the diseases them disappear. The sun burned them out. See? But on top of that, this story where them fabricate, we say, them are carry over thousands of people per ship is categorically a lie, because back in those days, they could not build those big ships. That's number one. The kind of ships where them are talk about came much later than that. And number two, the amount of people that them say were on those ships pack up like sardine. We proven in a few age and time where we live right now, when war did go on over Afghanistan and Iraq and them place there. The reporter them couldn't come out of the tank them and the vehicle them. After only 2 to 3 days, them foot get limp and weak out because they couldn't come out and move around. Yeah, people went on hospital bed. Check somebody for a week we can't move and see what happened.
So PM, where you really are saying the next brethren there? Can we really want to get it clear? Me no want when me go ask and I go research and find out. Can me want to know? You tell me, you know, say before the real slavery start, people used to come here voluntarily or come here for work before the slavery thing start.
Of course.
Like I said, from Africa, same way.
Everything starts from Africa. Africa spread to China first. Then you have Africa spread go India. You have Africa spread go Russia
I
and the
first
place
hear
there.
that.
Europe are literally the last place them civilized.
When me I go research that, you know, me I go ask and research that because if me have to go in every library what me know, I go in everything. When I saw archive because the first me I hear that.
If you look up the story of the Moors,
First.
look up the history of the Moors, Moors.
Yeah.
Them they are the black people, them will go back in Europe. When them say go back, that means them go there before. And them go back in Europe and go civilize Europe. Teach them for bathe, teach them for stop sleep with animal. Teach them for keep good hygiene, teach them for cook them food. And them still don't want to cook them food up to now. Them still want bloody steak.
They don't love real steak. Me know they love them thing them. That the part they not wrong. But the
Right.
part when me can't come
Teach
to
them
when
to
me
put
really
on clothes. Teach them to not
Yes.
sleep with their cousins so that they can stop off deformity. Teach them
clean them house. Clean
Right.
them house and clean, keep themselves.
teach
Me
them
know
to
that the
stop
part.
throw them piss out of them front window and them
Me
something.
know
there.
that. Me know them part them, man. I know them do them something there.
So that's what
but-
me I say. When you think say them the kind of people they can come conquer black people with civilized long time. You don't have the full story, trust me.
No, the reason why them that conquer them, you know, if you know say black man weapon, what they may have, you know. That's why them go invent gun
No.
because the first, remember I say as Khan told me learn me said the Jamaican are the first people set up people for defeat the British then, British army.
No, sir. No.
No about that again?
No about that again. The British were
Yeah.
already defeated by the Russians before.
No man, me not talk who come here, man. Me not talk. Me mean like we who in Jamaica yesterday.
And
Because
look
them
at
come
it.
as one lose.
Look,
Something like must be nearly 500,000 man.
but
Man
look
and
at
woman,
it.
soldier.
The,
Yeah.
the British came over here and they had so-called advanced weapons, no?
Yeah.
So how
Yeah.
come slave with no weapons in a bush defeat them?
Because that is because them we just have to yard. And although you have advanced weapons, you have to
Are you
yard.
just say the man them come over here in
Yeah,
a
you
ships?
just yeah.
Eh?
You know,
Are
No,
you
but-
just
but
say them
look here.
come on ships
Yeah,
and
but
never
look
feed them
here now.
yard?
But look here now, remember, so you left Africa, you are born around all in something where you use, you know.
Go and arrow what? What you talk about, big man?
Yeah, then look here, don't ever man. Well, I know you so, and you're on a hillside so, and you see.
hey, you better laugh tonight. You know,
Well, I
nah,
know,
lie, you know.
you see
Hey, I
40
give
man
a
a
beer
come.
joke, you know.
Well, I know, brother. You see 40 man a come, and you control the hillside so, and you see 40 man. If I'm stone and big stick you have, and you rush down upon them and surprise attack, you can't beat them.
No, Virgin.
And what you say, man?
If me
What
have
you
a
really say?
gun, if me
What
have
you
a
say?
gun, if me have a gun, and you have bow and arrow,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You can easily defeat me with my gun.
We not that easily, but surprise attack, you don't know, say them better.
Even if you have surprise attack, I know one English a walk, you know.
They don't know say.
Them a go
Oh, you-
come in a bundle. So what me I say is when you a say surprise attack, it cannot be one attack. It have to be all round and you have to know the whole terrain. You have to know
No, me not say that was one
the
time.
amount
man,
of
but
knowledge where you
because
have to have to defeat
if
somebody
you're going
that
on
have
the-
military training.
But remember saying, African used to fight against one another, same over Africa, you know.
All right.
Tribe used to fight against tribe, you know.
Tell you
So they
what.
have knife, then
Tell you
can
what.
fling their knife, then
Look-
can make the
look it
arrow,
up first.
Then can do that said way, you know.
Look it up first and come back.
Yeah, me want to know that the point there what you said because I'm going to look about the part where you say people when volunteer come like we will go farm work, go work a foreign then, right?
Listen.
Before slavery start.
You can start look it up from Christopher Columbus and the Moors and see how him get for
me not
know.
believe, me not love Columbus story. Me not believe that. So.
No man,
Well,
don't
well,
dismiss
you're twice, you're twice defeated then. You're twice
No
defeated.
man,
Family.
no. Because then if him come and say he come and see people and he say discover ya, you want me to believe him.
No man, you have to, you can't
You are defending him.
I defend him. Who tell you say me I defend him?
You can't dismiss the
No, you said.
What me say?
No,
Why
you
must
just
not
said.
hear me good, man?
You just said.
Yeah.
The people, the black people, them will come here through slavery.
Yeah.
And the prime and the we'll see it and we are trying to carry cup bossy before slavery, you know, I did Christopher Columbus, you know. And I like say Ray like Christopher Columbus did there
Mm.
before slavery. You see me? And we were trying to tell you, say, the black people, them where him did a work with, did there Jamaica before the English them come. So when the Prime Minister try to show you, say, when the English them a fight, black people were there a long time, and the slave them where the English bring them a go fight a bush. And when the
But well,
Prime Minister,
I know Spain first carry slave come here.
No.
I never slave, no slave, Spain never bring no slave. You never hear, you never understand what I tell you. Spain never bring no slave. Spain thing I did like how you got Canada nowadays. Indentured worker visa, something. I saw Spain thing did set with Jamaica. And the black people them used to come here like that. I never in a shackle. If you understand me, I try
Yeah, me
explain.
understand. Me hear what you say now. What you mean if me understand?
So Christopher Columbus thing. This take to start your research from. You see how him get to know where
No man,
Jamaica there. And you get to find
me I research from before Christopher Columbus come here.
Walaikum salam.
So, all right. You see, when you do your research,
Malia come.
Yeah.
you see, when
Yeah.
you do your research, you
Yeah.
can't dismiss something because you don't like it. Because,
No man.
for example, if you have, for example, Christopher Columbus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though him tell a whole heap of lie, it's same way like the government right now. Them are gonna tell some truth and them are gonna tell some lie.
Mm-hmm.
So if you dismiss the whole thing, the truth where you would have uncover by reading or looking it up, you lose all of that. So a lot of context where you would have. The same, all right, let me give you an example too. You see, the English, them learn from the Moors to take notes, especially when they go up on ship. That's why you have a ship log, right? The captain always supposed to always have a ship log and keep track of everything we are going. So anything will happen, he's supposed to have somebody or himself write down in the ship log.
Yeah.
After a couple of 100 years, when them realize about rotted, we can't make this come out. What them start do? Them start destroy all of the log them. Because the idea what them are try creating a people head, them realize that it now go stand up when time people start find out that in the future. So them start get rid of all of the records them. So the only records you can now reference back to, you have to go around the world and see different people accounts to see how this match up with this. And you realize that much of it don't make no sense.
So in that case now, people used to come here then and work month, 2, 3 months and go back to Africa and come back.
You used to have an entire society of Jamaica. Then no come here come build nothing. All them come here come do a try thief from day one until now. Then come here to try take away the natural thing them were there already.
Yeah, we know that. No, me attack we the black people. Me know that man. That the
We
problem.
did already
Me no
there from
problem
day
with
one
that.
too.
Me attack we as black people. Me say like how we la go Canada. Me
Them,
want
the
hear
flight
facts, you
them
know.
the flight
Like how
them
we
the
la go
flight them
Canada.
never so frequent. The flight
Yeah,
them
like
never
how,
so frequent for them. The flight them never so frequent for them come for 3 months and go. More likely a couple of years them would have come over here come do and
yeah,
then
all
go
right. You
boss
come,
it.
you're right. No
Right.
fear then. So then I come and go back freely and come and go back. You break up. You break up, Paddy. Me have to go really research that because at the first me I hear that. First, I mean, know many people at first they made that too. So me have to go really research it. And believe me,
Don't
you
do
know,
that.
let me make
Don't
sure I
do
follow
that.
you. Let me make sure I follow you. Because make sure I follow
Every
you.
Saturday morning 876 LB.
Right.
Every Saturday
Make
10
sure,
o'clock a morning. Join the
make sure I follow you.
Telegram group.
Yeah.
Telegram 876 right. Join it.
And when me research it, me I'll come back to you, street. Me I'll come back
All
and
right.
prove a point. Yeah, man. See me make sure I follow you, right? Good.
Yeah, man. But you see, it's not to
first.
prove a point, it's just to correct our thinking.
Yeah, then, but you see, it approve you're right, yes or no? Cause me, I hear. So we
Okay.
prove you're right now, me research it. Right. So it prove a point to me.
Salam
Okay.
alaikum. Walaikum salam.
Yes,
Big
sir.
up,
Big up yourself. Go on.
big up the high self Lord and Master, you know.
Zin.
Me I listen the reasoning and yes, 1491, them say that's when Grenada, Spain, the black people lose Grenada, Spain, the Moors. 1491. And then Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492.
Yeah.
You see me?
Mm-hmm.
And Pedro Alonso Nino, which is a black man from Portuguese lineage, was the chief navigator for Christopher Columbus. And we are of the overstanding, based on the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that Columbus himself was a half original man. Meaning that Columbus had a black mother, but a white father. You see me? So he's half original.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a black father, then you're an original man. If you have a white father, you're half original. So during those times when Columbus forward and black people was getting deported from Spain, getting deported, you know, many people chose to come to the Caribbean. There is a brother on YouTube named Curry Mayo, Kurimeo. Curry Mayo show you all of these ancient documents, and he show you all of these things with the stories about the Moors and, you know, the different black Jews and the black Muslims that were deported, you know, from Europe. So I did just want to touch upon that a little bit. It's not something I really want to get into, because I don't know as much about it. We just watch 1 and 2 video. You see it. And, you know, say the original Jamaicans, these people coming out of Spain, they were Muslim. Zane? Because the Moors were predominantly Muslim. Now, what did we lose as a black people or original people, whatever word black people like to call themselves today? What did we lose after 400 years? Now, those who came with the Spanish, they were practicing Islam, which means that they had a teaching of personal hygiene, a teaching that said, practice bombat. What is bombat? You know the word bombat? What is bombat? You know the word?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Yeah, me use it too.
Right. You have a bomb, you give it a, come on,
But
compound word, give it a bath. There is a specific way that you use the toilet when you're an African, when you're an Arab, when you're an Indian, when you're from Southeast Asia, when you're a melanated person, there's a specific way that you use the toilet. It's a specific procedure, right? It's not you do as you please. Right now, people go into the toilet and they act as though it is a personal, you know, it's only a personal thing. You do as you please. It's a public health issue. It's not personal, it's public. It's a social issue when you use the toilet, because you can spread germs. So what were the Muslims doing in 1491 that we're not doing in 2021? What were they doing in 1491? They were washing their bottoms immediately after each use. If you go to Africa today, they're washing their bottoms immediately after each use. Of course, there are going to be some changes here and there, colonization. You see me?
Yeah.
But the culture is there and the teaching is there. And in Jamaica, you have the vestigial, you know, words like bombat, bomboclete, bombo hole, bombat. I'm going to write it down for you, tell you how to do it. To practice bombat, so you're sitting on your toilet, right? On your right hand side, you have a 5-gallon bucket. In that 5-gallon bucket is a cup. So you have a plastic cup in there, one of them nice mugs. Take your right hand, catch the water out of the bomber bucket. Zane? And then you put your right hand behind you at the top of your bottom, which is called your bomber cleat. Throw the water down your bomber cleat, your body gutter. When you throw the water down your bomber cleat, it's going to reach your bomber hole. Take your left hand and wash your bomber hole. No, I'm not telling you cannot wipe your bottom, you know. You can wipe your bottom, but then make sure you wash. Because you see, fecal matter is something that when it's on your skin, you want to wash it off. No matter where it is on your body, you want to wash it off. If you don't wash it off, it's not clean. You see that? So when you pour the water down your bumbo cleat and use your left hand, wash your bumbo hole, and you stand up now, figure wash your hand also. You might have a little wetness. You want to dry up yourself. What kind of cloth you would have used? Dry up yourself.
Bumbo clot.
You're good in the class. You get an A in the class. If you're gonna dry up
Oh, use the
yourself,
bumbo
dry up
clot,
yourself
yeah.
with a bumbo clot, a real bumbo clot.
Yeah.
No, bumbo cleat, bumbo hole, bumbo clot, bomba. These are all words that were forbidden and are still forbidden today because somebody does not want you to be cleaner than the people who are holding you in bondage. If you practice bombat, you're cleaner than the white woman. Remember, the white woman does not wash her bottom and neither does the dog. I'm just making a factual statement.
Yeah.
The dog does not wash. The white woman does not wash.
Rhythm.
Yeah, okay. The European woman does not wash.
All right, so I appreciate that, Dr. Jamaica, but
Yeah, man.
we don't want to mention certain terms, and we don't really want
Okay,
to.
which one of the terms should I not use? Give me the, because I only said a
Yes,
few.
you go through. You said the white woman, they no wash. Maybe I got the
Okay.
part there I said.
So I won't use that word. I'll
No, but
just
that's true. You talk. You're not
yes,
wrong
it's
with that.
true, but you know
Right.
we're censored.
But we have to be
I work-
creative.
May I work with the program? You
Yeah.
see me? His Majesty said we need creative solutions because we have a condition that we have never seen in the history of all of humanity. Never
Right.
before has a people been so lost as us. You take a clean skinned people and you turn them into some people today that have the most pile in the world. You know, Jamaica, you go into every pharmacy where you see hemorrhoid cream, hemorrhoid suppository. Man can't sit down properly and people start look upon them and say, "But man disease, that what do you mean? I see him a rinch up and a move." The man have pile, the man have hemorrhoids. Hard work and not washing him bumbo hole. Is that a good word, bumbo hole? Me just want to know if that one is okay.
Yeah, man. You know, our native tongue doesn't appeal.
You know that wasn't where the algorithm is. The artificial intelligence has yet to learn the colloquialism of Jamaican. But
Alright.
before you go further, I really didn't want to lose a point because what you're talking about, I tell you, as a Jamaican, is very key to a spirit, basically. Because you really unblock a lot of things a while ago. But Mr. Sydney, and I'm look for you.
Yeah, man.
Mr. Sydney,
Yeah, man.
you said before, I just want to correct you on something. You say the first year here, but me I tell you a lie, I tell this. You hear it all your life. You just have a different word where you use, named maroon. Yeah. So it's not like the information not did it. And we pointedly did not use that word to describe everything we are talking about. And we never even think about it. But because we know that you're so deep in the information that you have to study. So don't think say I know something where you have to go far for no. It dead man. Just check a maroon. Any maroon in one, them will tell you what we just say about
But I
the
check
history
said
of
the
black
maroon.
people.
I check said the maroon come from the slave. Said we the slave. Said we.
No, make them hear. Don't make them hear the word.
Hold on.
No, but
Afro.
but me not tell you what I know. You want me to tell you lie then? Me I tell you
Mr.
what me
Sydney.
know and what me hear. So you
Mr.
want me to
Sydney.
run that? I'm tell you a lie.
Mr.
Now
Sydney.
me tell you exactly what me hear and what me know and
Listen.
what me hear. What them go on to. Yeah.
Good night. 876. Big up yourself.
Big up yourself.
You see, when me I go primary school, me learn this, you know. I might fairly younger than all of you. But when Christopher Columbus came to Jamaica for the first time, him come and discover things such as gold and the same rum. And him go back to the British and tell them, say them discover a highland with lot of riches. And the British said to take me there.
Yeah.
So when them come back to Jamaica and say all of the riches and these things where Jamaica already have produced, that's when them decide, say alright, them have to take control. Such as them go back to Africa and tell the people them of Africa say them a carry them on the work program like where Afro said. And when them bring them to Jamaica, then them put shackles and chain on them.
I would like to say that
Well,
if you
that's
look
something
up
know
the
it.
slave ship Jesus, you will see that the people that went on that slave ship, they were promised work and promised good pay.
And something know it, you know.
Right.
But the brethren now I tell me say you will have people now come like a work program
Good evening,
before
everybody. You know,
them
just
come
I
like
don't
a
want to
work
interrupt, but just want to make sure
before.
you
You
can hear me.
understand?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, we
All
hear
right,
you.
nice. Continue.
So who they used to work with? Who the people used to come here and
No,
PM?
no,
Who the
we don't
people
want to
used
go
to
down the
work
rabbit
with?
hole, really, you know. We don't really want
No,
to go
but
too far
if
down
you
the
are
rabbit
teach me
hole.
something, who they used
Then
to
come,
work with before
then come here
before
for
them
farm
come
work.
before? Yeah, who they used to work with and come here for
They
farm?
work.
The
They
Indian
work
them?
with the captain of the ship.
No man, I mean like say no, listen me now. Them come from a program, because the brethren not tell me say you have some
No,
African
man,
used to come here
various different
before.
working things. Various different things. It's not to say this specific reason them are come for. Because some people used to come here upon them own, you know. You see when they talk about Spain and the Moors and them are travel the seas and all them something there?
Yes.
What heap of it have to do with trade. That's why them have the law of trade. That's why they bring the law of the sea upon the land. Because them are try govern everything having to do with you exchange something for value. That is what all of this about. The whole thing. Them just want control any profit where you make. Them want make a profit. That's where it come from.
Yeah, yes.
I've got
The
research it
truth,
a long
if
time
with the
now.
Prime Minister, with the government of Jamaica, everything you try to do to make a life for your own, them have to get a cut out of it.
That's why them want your
You know, through
license.
them taxes.
Right.
You
License and
understand the
taxes. That's it.
TRN? You notice everybody have to get a TRN number. They check your earnings, they check your liberty. Every source where you live off of them want buy in, tie into it.
Exactly.
And if you not give them what them say they must get out of it, it's like them consider you as a criminal.
Right. And that is only
You
because we don't
understand?
protest it.
Yeah, I believe so too, because there is no way I can be here on my own. You don't provide nothing for me. But the instant I am doing something to for myself. You left from where you left from and come and tell me that you have to get something out of it. Even this income tax thing listen man, the amount of tax we are come out of one somebody pay even till to the day, man. A robbery, you know. I consider this government system as a robbery, you know. Because check it now. You pay NIS, you pay various taxes, then turn around and pay tax on the money itself for your make. Then after that you go supermarket, you pay tax again.
Right.
Everywhere you turn,
Stick a pin,
money
Panda.
come out of.
Stick a pin, Panda.
Mm-hmm.
There is a solution, you know. But me can't say it right now.
Brother, I understand what you say for real, because you see, the more you open people's eyes now, the more this place are gonna get stirred up. You see, it's because people ignorant, as what I said before, because people ignorant now. Marcus Garvey was saying, the ignorant will carry the weight of the world on them shoulder, you know.
Me have a statement. You see, because we're looking at solutions, and
yes, bro.
you know, me really think that the importance of the method of personal hygiene is an important solution. Would I like
Which
to
is right.
explain why I believe that is true? I am an Obia man. Let me make that clear. I am an Obia man, right?
Okay.
I am an initiate. Is anybody here initiated into any spiritual societies?
When they say overman, it reminds me of the overman thing not take too lightly with a lot of people. You know. You can't say it's not a different term.
No, you know, me don't want ignorance to lead me. You see,
Yes.
I am free to define my vocabulary, and the few
Yes.
indigenous languages that we have our words, I don't see why I would choose them to be negative. Even when you ask the European the etymology of the word obia, he says he does not know, he just don't want you saying it.
Right.
Okay.
What
Isn't
a
it?
man like said the 4 hour
All
right
right.
now.
I will take
You
that.
better read up.
Right.
You gotta tell the 4
So,
hour thing about we.
so the way how I look at the word obia And there's a, on my page there is a profile there. You'll see an African flag, Ghanaian flag, and you'll see a Jamaican flag. There's a video, right, where they explain the word bombo clat. You know, when you go to Ghana in the Ga language, and you're in the supermarket, not market, supermarket, regular market, and you hear man vex and want to talk, man say move your bohumo clat. They use bohumoklat. They're not trying to repeat a Jamaican word, it's their actual language. Bohumoklat is a way to remove evil spirits. So when you hear Peter Church say Bomboclat, Rasclat, you know that song there?
I know the Peter Tosh, yeah?
Yeah, man. So he was right. It's a way to remove evil spirit. Zin, now another way to remove evil spirit, you have some spirit when you're Kubati. Right? Allahumma bika min al-kubati wa al-kabait. When you walk into the toilet, you're supposed to say this. That's why you know if you have pit toilet, you're not supposed to go to the pit toilet at night. And if you have to go at night, you have to knock and make look nice for sure. Even at daytime, people tell you, say, yo, make sure you knock a pit toilet, you go. You see me? Duppy can't in there. Not somebody in, but Duppy. And Duppy will box you when you go to pit toilet at night. Especially. And me one know this.
Well,
No, man, me know that, man. Can me see Duppy? Me can't see Duppy.
Right. So people know the association.
Me see Duppy. Me see Duppy enough time.
Now, when you practice Jamaican bombat, Zane, certain Duppy, the Kubati them, that's where you get the word filthy. The Kubati mean filthy ones. The Kubati, them go and lose your address. So what do you live in a toilet? Then leave a toilet and then you out of your body and whisper in your ears.
Remember,
you know, you have. There are certain things where, you know, cleanliness is next to godliness, right? So filthiness is what?
Evil.
It's the realm of the shayateen. It's the realm of Satan. If cleanliness is next to godliness, where is filthiness?
Yeah.
And the person who washes their bottom is cleaner than the person who did not wash. Right. So we're talking about how to wash. If you go to Ghana, they eat with the right hand. You go to Nigeria, they eat with the right hand. And you ask them, why do you eat with the right hand? They say, because they wash the bottom with the left.
Oh.
Now, when we go to this country, we don't know which hand to eat with. We eat with any hand. And they the ones who have communal meals.
We eat with a fork. Or a spoon.
Yeah, man, we overs that. But the white man, even the European whitey, teaches us to put the fork in the left hand. Right? So, and it's a very popular African saying, it's an Islamic saying, that the devil eats with his left hand. And guess which hand they tell you to eat with? The left hand. If you learn how to
pick up that one day.
Right. So we eat with the left hand. We eat with the right hand because we use the left hand for cleaning ourselves. That's how you defecate. If you're going to use tissue, which we use your tissue. This is what I do.
So let me ask a question. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you. But a person who is right-handed predominantly use the right hand to do just about anything and everything, right?
Yeah.
So you telling me now that a person that is right-handed now gonna have to train for use him left hand for clean himself when him go to bathroom?
Brother, that person that's right-handed and is not and is worried about cleaning himself in the bathroom, that's a person that's never washed. So if you don't wash, you think it's a problem. Wash and see. If you wash and you have a problem, then you come back and say, yo, brother, me right-handed, my bottom never wash good.
No, but I mean, if you're right-handed, you now can use your left hand to certain things that even do it good. Do it the way how it is supposed to be done.
Do it the way that we are taught to do it as African people.
Because according to you, I'm not contradicting what you say, but according to you, you have to make sure say you wash good. According to what I get from you, yes.
Yes, you're finding a difficulty without experience. So when you have experience, you will have a different story to tell.
That's true.
Your concern right now is not even a legitimate concern. It's just a concern based on ignorance. You're not going to have a problem. Nobody has had a problem with this. You understand? So everybody has considered, what if I'm right-handed? And next person said, what if I'm left-handed? We have one guy, he said, I'm going to wash, okay? After a long time, him decides him I go wash. Zane, I may talk because you know some dopey problem. Me tell you some he's a hobby man. And him
Yes,
have a
sir.
dopey. Zane.
Yeah.
And me tell him to wash. And him say, him a reason it out because him intellectual. Why me have to do this and why me have to follow people and why this and why that? And I say, brother, me cleaner than you. That's why you should do it because me shouldn't cleaner than you.
Yes.
Me know me cleaner than you because me wash and you no wash.
That shouldn't be no problem because if you lose one hand, you're going to use the other hand. You're going to use the other hand and do what you're doing. So that shouldn't be no problem.
Well,
Right.
I don't believe so because you wash when
if one of your hand chop
toilet,
off.
you're cleaner than me.
Me go point out a few things to you what we do. When we urinate, Zane, this name peony wash, body wash, whatever you want to call it. When we urinate, you take a buckle of water, it's Taba right name in Arabic. Take a buckle of water and me wash off my hood. Me squeeze out the urine from behind the scrotum.
Before you go and urine, you say what the first thing you do?
When you walk into the bathroom?
Yes.
Put your zip, man. Draw down your zip.
No, yes, me talk specifically to my virgin when I talk to me now.
Oh, you mean like if me stand up on PP or me stoop down?
No. Not necessarily that, you know. You wash your hand before you pee?
You don't have to.
Well, you should.
You don't have to.
Well, you should. And that is the time when you should make sure you wash your hand.
Wash his bottom cannot tell me how to urinate.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Please don't say that.
If a man does not practice.
Do not say that, bro. Don't say that.
All right. Well, me I go tell you. You gotta tell me for wash. Anyway, me I keep going.
I will tell you this. No man born with every man was taught what he knows.
Yes,
you
brother.
understand?
Yes, brother.
Somebody have to teach you.
Somebody did teach me.
Yes.
And when them teach me that,
so don't tell me say somebody when no wash can't tell you this or can't tell you that.
No, they can't tell me that.
If
you not do this, you can't talk about that.
Me are the oldest man here, so I never wash me hand before me pee yet. Never do me. Me never catch no germs. So me don't know whether that makes sense. So me never wash me hand before me
wash your penis after you use it.
After me pee done, me wash me hand.
Gentlemen,
me never catch no germs. So me
you see, at some point we're gonna have to have discussions about hygiene.
Right.
Yes.
And how we go about keeping ourselves proper. Because
I don't believe the word of man still. Me not tell a lie.
We are talking about some things where people never hear about it. Like even this simple,
which is true.
Simple brushing of our teeth. The simple brushing of our tongue. The simple
but if you listen man, you know,
something to clean.
If you listen man, I tell you outright straight say the man say you're unclean because you don't wash your room.
Right.
That's what I tell you, you know.
You're filthy, right.
But you really not wrong, you know. Let me check it out, you not wrong.
No, these are the benefits of washing. You rid of pile, all right?
Sometimes you wipe your rump and feel come by your finger said way, you know.
Right.
You know.
And sometimes
so
that dirty
wash,
water splash up on your bottom, you have to wash.
So when you wipe, you know, wash your hand with soap and water when you're done using the bathroom.
The man sure say if you wash your bottom too.
Ask you say if you not wash your hand, what there your bottom, steer your bottom. Me say if you not wash your hand.
Right. So you say what there your bottom, stay your bottom.
I know that the man
I'm just refer to where this man said no, that you go and wipe and feel catch your finger.
Don't let it stay at your bottom.
No,
don't let it
when you say, I know, man, I tell you to wash your bottom.
It should not be there, sir.
You don't believe why I say.
It should not be there. What I am saying is this. The man say when you wipe it, catch your finger sometime. In order for what catch your hand affect you, it must because you know wash your hand.
No, man, you never say me no wash it, brother.
I'm just saying.
Never say me no wash it.
No, I'm just saying. If it ever affect you, just if your finger catch it and it go do you something, it must because you know wash your hand.
Yes,
no,
brother.
But and the hand washing in at the bottom, you must say if you wash your bottom. I mean, not saying me wrong.
I heard that, and I never say wrong. I know me not tell you say wrong, you know. But if you listen to him telling you that because you don't wash, is that you are unclean.
You're filthy. I didn't say unclean.
Right.
I said
you're filthy.
Feces is the definition of filth, and if you cannot wipe it off, brother, that's something that cannot be wiped off your skin. This is if you talk about measurement.
Yes.
If you wash off
some kind of measurement instrument, you can measure the amount of bacteria left on your body. This is physical facts. Me not charge you for this. Me I teach you how to make Duppy lose your address. After 7 days. After 7 days. You wash for 7 days. If you want a mother bath pan, me have a A bath where you can get near mother bath pan. If you want one, you get one for free after 7 days. But your skin have to clean. Your skin have to clean for jump in a mother bath pan.
Yeah?
You see? Your skin have to clean, brother. You can't just forward a doctor and wash. You see me? You have to respect the traditional doctor. You see me? We are traditional doctor. We get with studies. We get with license. We don't get it from Jamaica, Africa. We get it from. But we are
Yes, bro.
man. You just say what? When you do that, you get rid of pile. You get rid of kuro. Kuro are the little
Yes.
small, the little small tissue ball them where we get stuck up at your bottom also. Not here.
Yes.
You get rid of kuro. You have more intimate moments because you're not go frozy. You see me? When
Yes.
people frozy, then quicker forget to you. So when you teach your children how to use the toilet, teach them to wash. And teach them to wash the right way, the way that half the world is doing. Because all of Islam know this, the Yoruba know this, the Hausa know this, the Igbo know this. You see me? When you go to West Africa, they wash. In Jamaica, the Western Negro does not wash. He uses the toilet like a European. And the result is hemorrhoids. And you also have rectal bleeding, which causes what? The poisoning of the blood. People wipe so hard, they're trying to be clean so much that they tear the rectal tissue and they poison themselves. So you have a slow poisoning. And for those who use baby wipe, remember, those are cancer-causing baby wipes. It has not been out for 45 or 50 years yet. Baby wipes is very new. 20 years old baby wipes.
I will believe that about the wipes.
The first set of people that you're going to see with a whole heap of rectal cancer is 20 years from now. After you use baby 40 years from your bottom.
Gentlemen, I don't mean to cut this conversation short, but I only have a few more minutes on the live and I wanted to complete the section that we were talking about.
Yes.
We really go off topic several times here, and I know some people want me to complete the thoughts. You see me?
True.
So I want to make sure that whenever I get off the live, I give at least a few minutes for question and answers and also complete whatever I was discussing, so we don't have cliffhangers like a movie. Right? So and again, I appreciate you guys coming on and sharing the different viewpoints and sharing the knowledge as well, because as me tell people all the time, I don't know it all, and I will never pretend like I am not a student, but at the same time, I want to make sure that I share the knowledge so that everybody who get the knowledge, they have a way that they can use it.
True.
See? So what we were just talking about was that, again, the rights that are encoded in the Constitution or the Order in Council 1962 are not activated. They are simply there on reserve. So whenever you need them or whenever you decide to use them, they can be invoked. And that being said, they are only invoked when you deal in a legal matter. The reason for that is because all around the world, the law presumes that people are good. It means that you don't have to prove your innocence unless someone accuses you of a crime. Let me say that again. The law by nature, this is where you hear the term innocent until proven guilty. The law presumes that you are innocent unless someone makes a complaint against you. See? So, the rights that are encoded as being a protection in this document is only there when you need it. So until you invoke that right or you bring it forward or you conjure it up, literally, that is what it means. When you say invoke a right, the Obeah can tell you. You are bringing things to the forefront so that it can be used. Okay? So,
Okay.
Don't you ever just sit there and think that just because the Constitution said this and the Constitution said that, that means that you're entitled to it. You're not entitled to anything until you make a claim. And it says it right here. The government has an obligation to promote universal respect. It never said the government must do anything. It never said the government must adhere to it. It never said the government must abide by the rules. It simply states the state, which is Jamaica, has an obligation to promote universal respect for observance of human rights and freedoms. And it goes on and on about what these rights and freedoms are that it is granting the protections for. So this is why when you have someone violating your rights, you can sue the government. If you notice in many of the cases, the officers are not even listed. It is the Attorney General, the Governor General, or some member of the state, because it is the state that is listed here as the responsible party. Right there in front of you.
Okay.
So when you're going to make your suit, the Governor General is literally the first individual that you name. Sorry, the Attorney General is the first individual you name in your suit, because he is the one responsible for representing the state of Jamaica. Just like we were just talking about, the reason Jamaica is a state is because Jamaica is part of America. Many people don't know that because you don't go back in history. No one directed you to that information. But literally, each of the states in America, and also even in South America, you have the place being listed as a state. And a state is simply a political subdivision of land.
I'd like to add something to that about Jamaica being part of America. Approximately 100,000 original people were taken from America, sold to Jamaica. And that 100,000 extrapolated today, the population would be 3 million, which would mean that every Jamaican today has a claim to U.S. citizenship based on descent.
Absolutely. You know, and that also goes into the
So
fact that
could we choose America to become American, you know, like have an American passport instead of becoming independent? You know, the Republic of Jamaica, like the Republic of Texas, Republic of California, the Republic of I would like that. I'd like not to be independent.
So
I'd like
guys,
to
I
be
have to make a look around here, so I'm going to keep following you on TikTok, but I have to leave the conversation. All right. So nice to hear all that is. And 876, I tell you, man, thank you for all of the information that you're presenting to us. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Thank
man,
you
big up
very
yourself.
much. Respect,
Thank
my
you too.
boss.
Respect.
Yeah, man.
Respect people.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, yes, it is possible to claim American citizenship because remember, you know, people, this is a little bit more advanced than where we are currently at, but it is possible that we can get rid of this so-called segregation of independence. Because at the end of the day, it was only a political declaration. It was not a declaration by the people. The only reason the people did not take action is because they thought it was a benefit. And none of the people that were in Jamaica, as you would call the collective, signed that document. It was only the political officials that so-called signed that document and sent it over to Britain to get it officiated as a constitution, which in fact, the British simply gave their stamp of approval on this document and retained the underlying power to accept and refuse changes to that political body. So the independence in and of itself, all it really did was subjugate Jamaica further economically, but in the public's eye, it was a claim that Jamaica was now independent. But the problem was, in order to be an independent nation, you have to craft your own constitution. The constitution that was given to Jamaica was simply a framework. It was a framework as like a template. You see, like how I put the template them in a Telegram group. It was a template so that in the future, when Jamaica matured into a society, and it was assumed that the leaders of Jamaica would have not subjugate the people further into plunder. And when I say plunder, it means that all of the so-called corruption that you see happening, or that you think is happening, that is what the Constitution was there to protect against. So the people could see what is happening, and then the people could come together and create a referendum, and then create different aspects of their society that they want in a robust document. You see, the same way how the United States created the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights and them something there. It is the same thing that is expected of us, the people. And if we do not begin to do these things by public declaration, the same way they publish things in the Gazette and they call it this year act and that they act and that they act and that they act. If we don't begin to publish these things publicly, we will not have any real teeth to do anything. Because the majority of our brothers and sisters are blindly giving away our collective power into politics. Let me say that again. Our brothers and sisters have been tricked into giving away our collective power into political survivalism. Because they believe those are the only two options on a coin, when in fact, a coin that is round does not have two sides. The third side is the side that it stands up on. That is where all the freedom is. To stand up horizontally, not laying down on one side or the other. So, that being said, we have to create our own solutions, right? And one of the first ways we must do that with is to have a way where we can put together our own public declarations. When we want something to change, we should not be waiting or fighting because of the gatekeepers. We should already have our own platform where we can say, okay, we are going to put this in the public. We are going to make this public policy. We are going to bring together the will of the people. And we are going to make it public. And once we make it public, it stands as public law. Because what is happening now is, let me tell you what's happening with the elections. You see, when time you have people from every parish voting, that is what you call collective acceptance of what is going on. That means you have representatives from every parish saying that, yes, this is what we want to happen. This is why they want everybody from every parish to vote. And it is the same thing that is required when we want to consider anything on a collective basis. It has to be all sections of the map that is participating. It doesn't matter if it's 10 people from each place, but we need the collective participation in order to effectuate proper change. And once we have this in place, this is going to be the first foothold that we will have in Jamaica as a people, for the people, by the people. So, that being said, we're going to put together some flyers that we can distribute among the 14 parishes. The flyer is simply to advertise that the website, you're putting in public notice, right? That the website is going to be our public publication. Whatever we want to make public, we the people can make submissions to the website and it becomes public notice. We will no longer need to go to the Gleaner, the Star, the Observer, or any other national newspaper, because this will become our national publication. And it will be of no charge to the people. The only thing that we will make sure of is that anyone who is suggesting any form of public declaration to be posted or anything posted on the site, you will be given an ID based on your first name and the last 4 digits of your TRN. So that way, we can always verify the data. The website is called voiceofjamaica.com. It is not complete as of yet, but I wanted to make sure I share this with you guys because this is where all of the important information is going to be posted. So all of the polls, so you see like how sometimes we hear about polls and we hear about this and we hear about that, but nobody can verify the information. Nobody can verify who actually so-called voted. Nobody can verify how many complaints about something we have. That will change when we all have access to the information. That is the point of this. If we are the public, then we should be able to have our own independent platform and don't keep on relying on the government and political figures to get things done. That is the point of this. So even if you have a little business you run, if you have classifieds, anything that we want that we would normally try to pay for, we would simply use this platform and direct people here so that we have a free and public area where we can put up all notices. You know, sometimes you want to advertise a little thing or whatever, but either the cost or you can't get to the reach of the people because of whatever issues are in front of you. That would change when we have our own publication. Right? We have different sections that we can separate the important or the interesting from, you know, whatever else. So the site is going to continue to be developed. You know, as you can see again, we have a declaration on the front page. So there is no mistaking what the purpose of the site is and what it is invoking. In the Constitution, it also has a section that allows for public assembly. So this is where we, the people of Jamaica, are going to be able to assemble, to discuss things, to make things public, to give notices, and everything having to do with whatever we want everyone to know about. Zin? So that's the idea there. And this will also be published in one of the major newspapers. So we are going to publish it in the paper, and we're also going to start with the grassroots, where we have flyers in every single parish. And when we get flyers posted anywhere, like in a business place or on a light post or whatever, those of you who assist, you simply just take a picture of the posting and the location, and it will be posted on this website as well. So that way, everyone can know where this flyer was posted, when it was put up, etc., etc., etc. Okay? So again, we have to create milestones. We cannot keep waiting and waiting and studying and just dealing with traffic tickets. We have to start putting things in place so that we all can benefit and move forward in the right direction. Now, the last thing I want to cover on this thing here, when we talk about the publication and the benefits of what we're trying to do. When we have things that we can do as a collective, it is instrumentally so much more powerful than anything that you can do by yourself. Let me give you an example. If we have a situation where we see the police pull over somebody, did you know that we as the people of Jamaica can also stop and investigate from a distance, of course. We can stop and listen in. We can stop and videotape. We can stop and support our brother that is being accused by the officer. We can do these things. As long as we're not interfering with what the officer claims is his duty. We can simply stand up there and watch the interaction. And when the interaction is over, we can write on a piece of paper, say, this is what I observe happen. And give this somebody. And that interaction, because of your statement that you write while you were on the scene, that person can use that as evidence to show that his side of the story is credible. And when you have one or two witnesses, it is way more powerful than whatever an officer is stating. When you have one or two people standing up there and making sure that whatever is happening in a positive way. If someone is supposed to be convicted of something, it should be self-evident to those who are there, right? It cannot just be always the police making a judgment. Again, if it is just one individual, yes, they are going to try to do whatever, but when you have community support and people are being accused, but you can have other people from the community or even a passersby just stop and say, hey, what's going on here? I want to hear the situation. I want to see what's going on, especially when you see people being violated. That is how we start effectuate change. Because they often do it because people have no support. If we had support, many of what is happening will cease to exist. Because most of us who are in this, where we're saying, we are get ticket and we are get this and we are get that, it is simply because we are traversing the roads and we are exercising a free right, a right that we were born with. We're born free, though. So why are we being restricted? So, like I said, we need to support each other. And the only way we can do that is if we have a collective. We can't just, whenever the time comes, we want to jump on things or we want to try to do something, hurry. That is not how it works. We have to build our foundation in order to build a house. And this is where it starts. Zane? So, that being said, does anyone have any other questions before we conclude?
Yes, I would like to know what is the idea? You know, what are we working towards here?
We are working towards getting the power back into the hands of the people and stop depending on the government for everything.
So you would say that this falls under politics, you know, based on the 9 areas of people activity listed by Dr. Francis Wessling. Those areas are family, education, entertainment, labor, warfare. You would say this falls under what? Politics?
No.
What would it fall under?
I would say this falls under, I would say the public family.
Family.
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
I don't think Jamaica has ever had a collective consciousness that is deliberate.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It has always been diverted in some way or diluted in some way and distracted in some way. So
what's your opinions on the UIC and why you're not a part of the UIC movement, as it seems like you are working in the same vein that they're working in?
Well, the UIC is attempting to conform with the political framework that has been established.
You mean like how we would use the TRN, the last 4 numbers of the TRN, you said?
Right.
That's a conformation.
No, it is not.
Okay.
Because the reason I say no, it is not, is because we're not using it in the current governmental system.
Okay.
We're simply using it for identification to know that we don't have duplicate individuals trying to do things we don't have. You get what I'm saying? It's just to identify individuals.
Right. Just using what we have.
Right.
Now, so we just want to have more access to our rights.
Well, not to say more access. We want to be able to activate them right now,
Yes.
so that if and when something happens, we don't have to go through the judicial process to activate them.
Okay.
We
And
simply make a claim on those rights.
And do you see spirituality fitting into this? In the sense, when I say spirituality, I mean duppy, regular duppy. Do you see spirit? When anybody used to go to war, I think they still do. They
Yeah.
send out the priests first. They would always send out the priest. The Catholic, I hear these arguments against, the white man, the European came to Africa and he did not have, duppy. He had pew pew, I said, yo, brother, when the European came to Africa, he had the Catholic Church. And that's like the world's #1 occultist organization. They
Right.
have whole heap of duppy and a little bit of duppy them have. However, it's not them that did really get us where we are. It was the African spirituality that was used against us before they put us, those who were on the boats, before they put us on the boat. We had to drink from a certain well, and we had to circle a certain tree X amount of times until they do them. You know how they would spin your roll in a church, Zion Church, they spin the roll to make the duppy tunted. We did
Right.
have it in
But-
Africa before we go up on the slave ship.
But at the same time, I get what you're saying with, where a lot of these changes come from and where a lot of these movements and these big societal and economical changes happen. But
Yeah.
we're not there yet. But yes, it definitely should be. We can't say it's going to happen because, we have so much disparity as far as what people believe in and what people hold on to or what people accept. But I definitely think that is something that should be included when we have the knowledge, because we
So-
can't take action without knowledge, right?
Right. So spirituality, you look at places like Haiti, spirituality was key.
We talked
And
about that last,
right
la-
now,
last Saturday.
Ibrahim Toure, right now, spirituality is key. You see Obama named Gaddafi. You see me? So, there is those who are initiated and those who are not. When you're talking to initiated people, they know what you're talking about. For instance, I'm talking now, but many people say, yo, so you tell me, so you talk to the duppy. I say, yeah, your duppy not talk to you. And I'm look at me like, what you mean?
In some cases, when them say duppy, they mislead we, is a form of person who connected to nature. Just like the Indian, where if you walk somewhere, him can tell said that step you are fresh, and him touch it and him can tell you how long the person walk past and so forth.
Right.
So when them say duppy, is a form of misleading thing. Is a nature, spiritual nature connection.
So duppy no mean spirit.
Well,
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying is
is
that the duppy have a negative connotation to it.
Everything non-English usually has a negative
Right.
connotation. That's why I don't apply the negative connotation, because we have
Right.
to redefine and we have to define our vocabulary. Imagine you've been
We actually
born
talked about that the last time as well, last couple of times. The vibration of the language.
for 400 years, bumbo clot can't make it in a dictionary, but you have word like fluffer nutter. Fluffer nutter is a new word. Fluffer nutter. It is a new word. They put new words in the dictionary every year, and words like bombat they tell us is gibberish. Words without meaning is gibberish.
No. It's not the words without meaning. It's the words that have the most power. They don't put them in the dictionary
Right. Well,
because
yeah.
they don't want no one accidentally coming up on them.
Right. So words that, it's like if a man wants you to have rotten teeth, he ban the word toothbrush.
Right.
If people want you to be filthy, they ban the words of cleanliness. Like, for
Right.
instance, I cannot tell a person to wash them bumbo hole without telling them that them stink. You understand? Yeah.
Fanta.
I'm just wondering about the spiritual component because when you deal with Babylon, and you want some protection. Remember saying, may I show you something about how the spiritual part of Babylon set up. Look on the chain. When you see some big sign, some blasphemous kind of sign, the chain I go say he's worshipful, Lord, Mayor, King of this or what of that, and worshipful, remember the word they worshipful, when you look around the neck, you see him big chain. What is the big chain? You see one big square chain and a gold and a pretty and it look nice. You know that chain there?
Yeah, man.
Right.
Ceremonial chain.
Yeah, what is that chain? How much dope come with it? If it was not significant, why they would put it on? It has to have meaning.
Right.
So they must show you so they have the dopey. And then you go against, you say, well, some people have to get, in some trouble so we can get the spotlight and we can speak. Now, when the police forward and them talk to somebody and rough up somebody, the police have one shield. Why you think them call them badge a shield? We might call certain things a seal and say,
a ring too,
then get ring too. You see me? So them
Yeah,
have them
just like
gas.
every university graduate have a ring.
Right. You get your guard, you get some kind of guard. You get your ring, you get your shield, and then you have some man when I come from nowhere, no know nothing, no have nothing, I turn up in front of you as target practice. What you think are gonna happen? They're not afraid.
Right.
How they afraid?
Right.
So
Well, we are talking about we are talking about before this or we are talking about after this.
no, me I say at any point you're doing something, you want to have guard. Confidence, The
Right.
one thing that Obia do for Jamaica in the past 7 years, because you never hear about Obia until 7 years ago. It was always hush hush. You hear about but it's
Yeah, it was like a myth.
Yeah.
It was like a myth.
Yeah, you just hear about it and people whisper and say, yo, you can't talk about that. And people go one side and talk to you. So when me I grew around in a region of Obia, people used to catch them afraid and all kind of things used to go on the road. Nowadays, the youth them take and say, all of me dog, them are Obia man. You see me? So when you hear the music now, Guzo man. Yeah, so when you hear all the music today, you find a generation will have more confidence than the previous one. The previous one I try to tell you about what bad word and what no bad word. Show me the good word in English.
Right.
Any good word you show me, I bet you it was raped into our people. So me don't know how them look on my vocabulary and say this bad and that bad. My vocabulary, my Jamaican vocabulary, I'm a Jamaican like, what you could say, me believe in myself, Me believe in a Jamaica. And we set the order. As a man say, we are Judah. You see me? So may I say that confidence. When you have some science, brother, you're going to have more confidence. Why you think it illegal? To this very day, you can't walk Obia. Why? You can't read Maccabee. A book is written and no Jamaican is allowed to read it. It's called the Maccabee. It's just an easy book. It's like the story of Daniel. It's no special book. It's not the 6 or 7 book of Moses. Call no demon, do nothing like that. It just tell you about a people that is doing what you are doing today, standing up against oppression. But if you don't read about these people, a man, you never read Maccabee, I don't know. You did read it?
I did.
All right. So maybe that's why you're so busy. You don't know, you just need some hobby.
So 876. Hold on. You read Africa for the Africans? Opinions and philosophy?
No.
Marcus Garvey, opinions and philosophy.
Oh yes. I read that.
Marcus said that Islam is the religion of the black man. That's what Marcus said. And if you talk to the brothers from Nation of Islam today in Jamaica, they will tell you that those who grew up with Malcolm, with Marcus used to make salat. He used to get up in the morning, face the east, and he used to make the Islamic prayer. We believe Marcus Garvey was a Muslim. Why is it they gave you Christianity and never gave you Islam? And then you start thinking that Christianity and Islam, they're just religions. The only thing is a different, they're not the same, they're not similar. Not just in theology, but in practice. In practice, we are different. If you were a Muslim today, you would be cleaner in your skin. Now, that's conflating the religions with the politics and so forth. But I'm saying if you want to move forward and you want to be successful, get some spirits on your side. You don't know what spirits are? Find out. Get some African
876.
initiation.
Well, I don't dismiss things just off the bat, I always look into whatever it is that I feel I will gravitate towards. So I can't say yay or no. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, even so, that is not something that I can really openly discuss.
Yeah, man, no problem. Because, if every election I watch as the JLP go to Zion and then set them table and then call it up with them and then do whatever. Siaga did kill goat and all these things happen. And then me watch as PNP go up to Maroon Town, Mark.
I showed on this channel, I showed on a live where you had, every time they have a session of parliament, they literally show you the ritual they are going through before they start parliament session.
Look at that.
Seriously? Seriously?
Yeah. Listen. Go on YouTube right now. Matter of fact, I can pull it up.
Yeah, pull up it. So the hungry somebody when now walk over you.
Yeah,
you are the
so.
hungry one. So when they take away bomb hole, them take away all of your words of cleansing it, and then set sound up upon you.
All right, so this one streamed 1 day ago. I don't have much time.
Yeah, man, you have to move.
I'm gonna share it. Yeah.
Let me tell you why we have that. I'm on a video chat. This is live streaming for audience. The kids are on their phone.
All right. So this is YouTube, right? They have. All right. Okay.
Also in the gallery, Canada.
But they don't have a panel.
If you enjoy today's presentation, along with the High Commissioner representative.
This is not the one. Hold on.
You are finding man. We lost our initiation rights.
Oh, this is a different one. These are sectorial debates. They have, all right, ceremonial opening of parliament, right? That's one. I'm gonna start posting these in the Telegram. Okay.
The big chain, the bracelet, the other shoe.
But this are just quick. Them not show the ceremony. Hold on then.
You have to remember, anything what they tell you not to do, you have to go do it.
Yeah, upside down world.
Yeah. Anything they say, no say that you have to say. But you have to make sure you can defend yourself.
876.
Yeah.
All right. You know I'm all on this, right?
Yeah. What one?
There, man. like the conversation, but may I enlighten the man them about something, about words, because me hear maybe they on the words and things like that. You see the word obia is a righteous word, It's not a witchcraft word or a voodoo word, It's a righteous word that come from out of we, Now what the colonizers do is corrupt the word to make it seems like you work witchcraft. But when you're righteous, them say you work obia, You get me? What me say a while ago?
Yeah, man.
When you live clean, you're not a thief, you're not rape, you're not a robber. You see when the sorcerers them come against you, them spell don't work. So the colonizer would have said, yeah, work obia. But I want you to understand something. You see the last part of the word, yeah, that is we. That we talk, come here, turn here. So our natural power I come out of we, I work for we. Our ancestral powers them I come out of we, I work for us in righteousness. Not in witchcraft nor spells. But because the colonizers could not defeat that spirit, them corrupt the word and make it to be in a type of witchcraft. Because yes, witchcraft and spells there. One time I do business with some Indian people, And I tell you, say them people I work them you talk about 7 years. From way back when some strong witchcraft I work at Jamaica, And them would have burned them frankincense and I tell about foreigners, Work them frankincense and them thing there. And we can remember one of the boss man said to me, say, how will you work for my? Remember, these are not Jamaicans, Them come here, but me and them do business. And them say, why you work for my manager? Obia, how everything, our price change, so as you raise your price, so because through sometimes it does. A business we do, so as the time climate change, me have a increase my price. Him say, him just take your thing, so. And him not take nobody else one. You hear me?
Yeah, man, me I hear you.
Yes. And so, me laugh, but me kind of puzzle me because me never know if he know about Obia because he is a foreigner. He is an Indian man, so he is a foreigner. So I didn't know that he know about Obia. So, but me start wonder the word now.
Yeah, man, them man, they have for them one church, man.
Yes, man. So, me just ask myself, what this word Obia? And one day me just, like my natural spirit just tell me, say, yo, break the word in pieces and tell me what you get. And when me say, oh, be, yeah, I say, okay.
Man.
Because me know say the true creator name, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that come out of we naturally. That yeah, they come out of we naturally. Come here, turn here. You go up there, so? Yeah, man. That come out of we naturally.
Right.
So, when me could have dissect that, I say, oh, because I'm not doing nothing. I was just living righteous. Yeah. I'm not doing a thing. Me love my brother them. Me share. Me do. Yes, that is me. So, when he could not defeat me with him witchcraft, and that him resort to ask if me a work over here. So I realized how the term come by.
Yeah, man.
Because I have seen it more than one time in black people, where them couldn't get around some people, and I mean, know them people used to work witchcraft, And when them couldn't defeat the people, they say the people were work over here. So I realized that the word was corrupted.
Yeah, man. A whole heap of word then take from me. A whole heap of word.
Yeah, man.
You see me?
So
and
I realized that Obia.
Yeah.
And when you do nothing, you not mix up no spell. You not do nothing. You just live right because we have that natural power in our way.
Iniquity is an English word,
Exactly.
Iniquity different from Obia.
Exactly. Witchcraft different from Obia.
Me don't know one here witchcraft.
The Almighty.
No iniquity.
The true creator.
Yeah, man.
You say? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a road that corrupted.
Yeah,
But
and
them
same
them do the opposite height. As you were saying a while ago, how them turn the
Doctor.
road, them opposite, everything them turn opposite. Yes.
Guzu is an African word too, you know.
Doctor.
Guzu mean for
Doctor
bad.
Jamaica.
Yes, sir.
And Marlon. When them say a man get a sore foot, that our
Witchcraft.
Circulation.
Witchcraft. Witchcraft. Sorcery.
That's it. That
That a
iniquity
witchcraft.
working. That's it. That a iniquity working.
Yes.
Because me don't know about the witchcraft thing. Because
Okay.
you know, so anything with the church never really rate or did have a problem with them label it as sitting. But me know say iniquity is a straight English word and it mean what it mean. Iniquity. So if somebody are working
Okay.
iniquity against you and XYZ, sometimes you have to go out there, man, and you have to try test out your man. You have to get a test out the doctor.
So, well, I know. Because me I go speak up by experience, you know. A man. As far as me can understand the man at work for me against me. And me I live righteous. Me I live in a righteous way. And next man turn to me and say, yo, say a man at work for you. You need to go get yourself check out, you know. And I say, me believe in I Almighty. And you know, a couple days after that, they say me I go check the man because the man where I work for me. We live close. And we correspond. Same like how me go to the man yard and say, walk one. The man mother call him. Call him on the phone.
Yeah, turn on back your mic, definitely. Yeah, turn on back your mic. Never know see how you do that. Echo. Never know see how you do that. Marlon, me go mute your mic, cause are you.
Huh?
We are here echo from your mic.
Echo?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But then I want quiet place, sir. You know, when I drive still, so I don't know.
Just come off and come back on.
Or him can turn down.
Oh, I wonder if I show me turn up the volume.
Yeah, man.
Man yard, somebody go to the man yard, somebody sitting.
Yeah, see him like how me go to the man yard. We are go converse. Him mother call him on the phone. The same man where everybody tell me say I work for me. The same man where me have a suspect. Same like how me reach there and by the time if we start converse, him mother call him and say, man, me find a better way, man, you know. And that one you good. And him a do whole heap of miracle work. You think that was something we just open because I'm a self-power? It's just a question me ask. Is that you think that is something where just open to me because I'm a self-power?
If we feel like say what
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm here, but the haircut thing.
just
Still I hear echo?
put him back on, yeah. Put on back yourself.
You know, so it look like the people them take down.
Yeah, if you go on here and see all of them thing there and broadcast it, them are gonna take it down because them know everybody fin know.
Me really have to go I gotta look on my other account still because I know I have it in my history. So they would have to really take down the entire thing. Which me see enough of them missing. Because the last time me show the actual ceremony with them do inside of Parliament before them start. And you see that big staff there when you sit on the table? We can see it?
Yeah.
That big staff there with it on the table, them take on a walk around with it in a robe and them shit. So them actually show it by us, but you know, say people now go watch them something just like that. But me I go find it back still. Me I go find it back still.
When we not have certain passive, you know, people take advantage of it, dopey take advantage.
For real.
Yeah. When you're there in Africa, you reach certain age. Then put you through initiation. So anybody will say, oh, me I move go Africa. If you move go Africa and say you move around and you're there around the house, but you are not an initiated houser man, that means he is like a child. You're not a man among the houser. Likewise with the Zulu, you not go through no, right? Then you're not a man among the Zulu. So we are kick up and say we have to get certain things in place. You know, do what we can do, yes, so. We did go to Africa, we'll get some duffy. And if people want duffy, then just I may have duffy. Yeah, mute Marlon Mike. Yeah.
Alright. See we find it here. I know some would have find it. Would have find it back. Matter of fact, me I go download a video or something.
Half of the population.
We not fear have problem when time we want to see what really are going on in this place here. See? So, wanna watch and see for yourself. Turn on the audio too.
You know, me see something like that once in my life before on the media same way, but me never really know what it was all about.
And no matter of fact, me go back.
Glory of thy blessed name.
More want to know hear what go on, and them all cut the audio. So you couldn't hear everything what really are going on. But when you listen and see what go on.
Having thy fear always before our eyes, and laying aside all private interests, prejudices, and partial affections, the result of all our counsels may be to the glory of thy blessed name. The maintenance of true religion, the safety, honor, and happiness of the king, the public weal, peace and tranquility of the island, and the uniting and knitting together of the heart of all persons and estates within the same, in true Christian love and charity, one towards another. Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
I said to the dopey sit down.
This honorable house, unit sitting
It is indeed a great honor and a pleasure to welcome all of you to the sitting of the Honorable House of Representatives on Thursday, March 13, 2025, for the continuation of the budget debate. I would like to welcome to those who are joining us.
So, and again, that is still not the full one. There is another one. We didn't show you from beginning. Them a walk from one end, and them a talk them things, and them a go through, and them a walk, and them a go through, and everybody stand up and watch same way. I mean, I know if nobody a talk or if them a chant nothing or whatever, but
Yeah, man. So you have to do your house sometimes. You have to go at every corner if you ever run out, dopey out of people yard and in place there. You have to go at the corner them and go chant up and do
Yeah,
this.
man, when me I use me garlic, man, I saw me go corner to corner.
John Star. But what me I say, them a do all of this, and them nah. Well, I mean, I guess people just don't really want to go. Me never really attempt to go there still. Get me I say? But me never think them are going to allow much people in there. So anyways, especially not before them don't do what them a do.
Remember a public ceremony they do, you know, they do them thing on TV live. Remember when the Queen did on a live our goat, you know, lead the march to carry her go to the grave. You know, you remember the goat where did have on the clothes?
Me never really
look on her funeral, man. And you will see one goat, one white goat. I think the goat did white. And he have on clothes.
Well, my thing is this. If I that them have to go through to start a session of whatever them a do, me don't think nobody approve of that and nobody never say that at least me want to know if
The public.
If you have to resort to that and the people them not involved, me don't feel like say that really supposed to be about.
That's
Alright.
Reno. Reno, you have to mute him, like. Yeah, Reno.
If like Reno might be from Bluetooth or something, so you can't turn it
You have to mute it.
Alright, disconnect it. Yeah.
Yeah, so people might never request this. I mean, it's not like we're being governed by our own requests. We're just being governed.
That is why we're doing all of this here now, so that we can lay our foundation from where we want.
Yeah, but you do it without, you don't have what them have.
But that's the thing, it's not really say me I do it per se, you know. It's not really me I do it per se, you know. You see me? Because right now, we are only at a stage where we not confront nobody, we not demand nothing from nobody, we just lay our foundation. We not getting out of the way, we not try to stop nothing. You see me?
Why
Yeah,
am
you
not
just want
Ras
teach
Mohammed?
people, right, go on talk. Bismillah.
Ras Mohammed, what him don't have what them have?
Dopey.
But every black man have access to that, yo.
No, not really. I mean, you have
once them become aware and know the process, every black man have access to that. That in our blood.
Yeah, but he not have it.
Oh, shit.
He might have access, but he not have it.
Well, you see, the other thing with all this, you know, you have to realize, you know, over the generation them will come before we. A lot of people do things, you know. And
yes.
We get caught up in the things, or we get protection, or we get the shit in the stick. Same way. And we don't know what's going on. And enough people now go find out. Because them don't want to know. See? So at the end of the day, that's why I say there are certain things it have to a different discussion, because we will confuse a lot of people when we start say dopey, or we start say spirit, or we start say look for what they do or whatever. Enough people still not get it. And that's okay. You know what I say? I know everybody, just like you have people who good at one thing, them now go on do something else. Them not fit for something else. So we still have to separate our power and our role and whatever we are doing. Everybody in a society have a different skill where them can utilize and them good at it.
You know, that was one of the things I was confused with Marcus Garvey movement. You know, like when I look for Marcus Garvey movement, and I said that one area where, I mean, ignore the religious aspect, but me never find spirituality in a Marcus Garvey movement. Me find religion, but me never find spirituality.
Yeah, because them come from the wrong foundation. Even though he was a very powerful man, his brain could have worked naturally with the structure that was there. And that's why he opposed it so strongly. And he was able to, you know, gather people in other mindsets to come along with the vibration when they pan. But the problem is, if your foundation shaky, you get shaken no matter which way you think say you rise to.
Right. So without that,
Because the foundation no set in the ground. And when we say the ground, me literally mean the ground. And you know what I talk about.
Yeah, you want very one sitting.
So the time will come though, when time we introduce this to the people and the people collectively will start overstand where them lineage come from. That's why I say, the last time we talked about it on the live, the language that we speak, it is coveted. We don't want certain things come about because when we talk about our language, you see how far our language have come from? Our language have come from time immemorial, but then try tie it to a history. You see me? Our language is so powerful that any language that come to Jamaica, it get destroyed and we disseminate it. No language has taken foot in Jamaica other than Patois, and we create it. Imagine that. Even English itself, then come and them teach English, no, but they can't get rid of Patois. Because of what our ancestors them are, our lineage did in the past. And we still have connection to that right now. That's why when Mr. Jamaica says certain things, like me say, can't say certain things because people still not gonna understand anyways. And
anything where you can't say, I should just say it over Telegram.
You know what I mean there too? But you know, them in there, man. Listen them. Listen them. Them create one heap of account and them try put themselves.
Yeah, try infiltrate.
Yeah, man. So Patois is a language where we're not supposed to get rid of. Because that's the power there. You can't get power from it. No real power can come from English because English is a backward and bastardized language. That's why they call America the melting pot.
Yeah, man, it's in the language and it's in the wild herbs.
Right. So it come from the ground.
From the earth, yes.
Yeah. So that's why when I talk something in Patois and you try to convert it to English, it kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Dead. But people, unfortunately, me have to run it now. So
say no more.
It's always been real, always been good. Big up on yourself, same way. And
before you go, 876, I want you to encourage people to wear body cam too.
Yes,
not
man.
Just the police. If the police find it hard to wear the body cam, we, John Public, wear it. Each and every individual.
John
Yeah,
Public.
go to Amazon and recommend one.
Yeah, if you can find a good one, just post it in the group too, yeah?
Yeah, man.
You know what I say?
So if me, yeah.
Civilian body cams.
What me I go do? Because I have access to some links. I go see if we can work on something.
Aye.
Because like me say, you know, people, sometimes we can't look on people for take action. People foot hard to move sometimes. But if you create an avenue where people can relate to it and people can get access to certain things, and we have that power, it better we do that than I try to tell people, hey, do this, do that, because The amount of people come to me after me tell them 3 months now, I tell people, get a body, get a dash cam, get a dash cam, get a dash cam. Yo, you know, so me just get a ticket. Yo, you know, say Ray just boy, I'm sorry, say me didn't get a dash cam, you know, because I could have show Ray.
Yeah, man, me buy a car. It no license not insure yet. And me has a possibility all when my license not insure, me still not ready to drive yet. Dash cam.
Dash cam.
Yeah, man.
So me I go work
And
for
I
that
look,
if you can get some get a collective
I look
price.
for the universal one where I go give me a 360 degree. So me I catch up front, anybody come at my driver door, the passenger door, it pick them up, and me have something I pick up around the back too. So me no need to take up my phone when Mr. Man come.
All right.
Everything
Exactly.
I record.
Exactly. And when them see it, them more likely to let you go, you know, because them know so they can't tell no lie.
And that's why I'm not ready for drive yet.
Exactly.
Ready.
Right. Yeah, man, but me I go definitely do some research on that and link up my source and see what I go on. Because if I something where we can make possible, me rather go down route there and make it possible for the people who want it than for I tell people, go and go get a dash, go and go get a body cam, go and get a body cam. And you know, it might not reachable for some people. Although if you drive or you travel about the place, you're supposed to have a little food where you can say, all right, may I invest this in my security, in my peace of mind. You can't look on it and say,
Yeah, man. Everything connect.
Right.
Right now, I want all one WhatsApp profile where meantime it a record, it a wait for send. So if you interrupt it, it just send. Nothing nasty.
Right.
Gone a public.
Yeah, why? It's rough. It's rough, but when I get there same way. One step at a time.
Yeah, man. Respect for your good work. You're 876.
Yeah, man. Manners and respect everybody. Same way. Big up on yourself. And we'll be back here again on Saturday at 10 a.m.
I'll be there.
Out.
Yeah, man. Big up.